on. I thought he'd catch you off guard. I just thought I'd catch you off guard because you knew how long that intro was going to be for.
One guess.
I was trying to catch you picking your nose, actually, Paul, to be honest.
Me? Was I? It could have been worse. I could have been picking my arse, to be fair. So
yeah,
you got like
just about to go live and realise I had no intro, so I just had to go with what was stuck down the side, and that's for the what do you call it? Let's talk retro that I was trying to do before. So
yeah, you're gonna ever get back to that?
I've got actually a live stream with a BattleBots builder this Wednesday coming, but he doesn't want to do it live. So this is going to be the first time I ever pre-record something and then stick it on afterwards. But you know what I mean? It's still like doing this through StreamYard. But yeah, so how is everyone?
Well, I've had quite a stressful day. I basically had to drive to Skye from Inverness. That's like from the east coast to the west coast. So we're going to the west coast massive. And the way I go, like it's like through the mountains, and everything was going fine. And then it got down to about -8, and the roads just turned to sheet ice, and I had to turn around and come back. But I didn't just have to go back; I had to go back, refuel, and then go a completely different way. Because there's mountains in the middle, you've either got to go that way or that way. So I had to then go the other way.
It's very picturesque. It was, but.
Well, I took a video, didn't I, of the because one of the lochs was like completely frozen. So I've got a video of me just saying like, this is how cold it is, like, and it's massive, isn't it? Though I mean, it must be like 4 or 5 mile long, and it's just completely frozen. So I might put that up as a short, actually. See if anyone wants to see that.
And we have to say as well that this is ZX Tetley's first ever live stream.
Hello.
You've got this. If you don't know Tetley, definitely go check it.
We got the camera wedged up with a piece of blue tack, and it's holding firm at the moment. We're all good.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'd have stuck with that sexual. What was that sex device thing that you had? I'd have just stuck with that.
I didn't think about keeping it in. I wasn't sure if it
was. That's one for the swap shop. Just in.
We could start here.
Yeah. Look, this is just what happens. You say stuff when you're on a live stream and you don't realise you're saying it, and it's taken so out of context. Especially Paul when he clips it down and just sends it.
What?
It was live on a stream.
Yeah, I remember that, and I actually give it to Lee, and Lee put it back on the stream, didn't he, that night?
Talking about the knob coming off my hand or something like that, I think.
I remember that one.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with Lee and Swap Shop.
Yeah.
True enough.
Oh, Art in Heaven's in.
So, Tetley, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking the finest beer ever made. It's difficult to find where my camera is. Oh, there it is. There we go. Banana bread beer.
We are getting a bit of an echo off you now, Tetley, actually.
Are you really?
It's amazing. We go live now, you get an echo.
What about if I put the computer off? Does that make any difference? No. Okay. I'll set head. Oh, no. You know what? I have my cable wedged. Oh, hang on, guys. It's all gone pear-shaped.
I've seen it go a lot worse.
What's happened? What's up? Did the blue tag feel?
An echo.
Oh, we've got an echo.
I think one of the worst people who's ever been, not the first person been on the stream for technical difficulties, is 8-Bit Rach.
In heaven, there,
I watched that.
You're both were all echoing, which is not good. I don't normally echo.
Have you still got the echo from me now?
No, he says that's better.
Yeah, that's good.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for your help. Art in Heaven.
Oh, yeah.
How was your day today, Si?
How was my day today? I had to go in and do some medication training because someone fucked up. And it wasn't my fuck up, but my signature was on the paperwork. So I've had to go and be retrained again.
So what do you do for a living, Si?
I'm a support worker.
Oh, right. Okay. Support for?
People with learning disabilities.
Ah, right. Oh, okay.
I
got somebody I meet around the corner from me that does that.
I would ask you, Tetley, what you do, but I'm quite. I think I already know that you work in a jazz bar.
Yeah, that's right. Nice.
I mean, what a job! What a job! Playing the piano, bit of jazz.
Yeah, a bit of jazz. Not good inhaling all the smoke, but.
It's just I always hear that music in the background.
Yeah, actually, I've moved on to sort of broken hip hop beats now. So
Oh, you're upgrading the place. Right? Okay.
yeah.
It's
Makes it
still
more cool.
it's not as good as though as every time we speak to Scott, and all you can hear in the background is the loading Spectrum. Every single
Hey, that's the
time.
best sound there is. Best sound there is.
You say that to a Commodore fan down there.
There is some Commodore 64 games do it. Not many, but there is. Yeah, there is some. There is some.
The Commodore 64 games, have any of them ever had like loading games? Like when you load a game.
So I had a game. It was, I think it might have been Ricochet or something like that. But anyway, the game was called Tau Ceti. It's like a 3D. It's like sitting like you've got like find power stations, I think, over the planet, and you've got like sort the nuclear rods out or something along those lines. But it's 3D for the Commodore 64. And I remember when I loaded it up, it had a game on called Invader Load, which was just a simple Space Invaders game, but it was really good fun. So sometimes I would go to load Tau Ceti, and then I would press stop on the tape and just play it.
Just keep playing it.
Loaded in like about 2 minutes. So if you wanted a quick game, obviously, the 8-bits are renowned for not being the fastest of loaders, unless you've got cartridges, which I didn't really have many at the time. But Invader Load, I used to play that quite often. But that's the only one that I can think of that I used to play. But Pete, on a retro tip, I know done a video about loading games and why you don't see them anymore.
Well, it's because of the Namco, though, isn't it? Yeah,
it
got trademarked. It was Namco, and they trademarked it for is it Ridge Racer or something like that? And they
because you can play Galaxion
or
something like that.
They also Sega trademarked the these slow transitions in the racing game. Was it Virtual Racer, where it slowly transitions to going into the car, then transitions to come out? They trademarked that, so everyone now has to do it. So it's either inside the car or outside the car. So their trademark, I know, but their trademark made it better for us because you haven't got to wait for it to zoom into your car. And then
that's true.
Again.
Yeah, that's true. But Pete did do a video on loading games, and it's pretty good because I was talking to him about the Commodore 64 one. But
there was one on the Spectrum game, and I can't remember what the game is now. But all it was the one I remember had Mastermind. Do you know that game Mastermind where you got to pick the colours and get them in the right order?
Oh, do you know we used to play it all the time when I was a kid?
I can't remember that. Like,
and all it did was give you like 6 goes to get the right combination, and then that was it. If you got it wrong, it didn't let you have another go because it was just a loading screen. So,
do you know, I almost bought Mastermind the other day in a charity shop. I saw it there. I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
I've got an electronic one, but I've never got it working.
Too tattered for. But yeah, there were a few. I remember there was at least one Specky game where the loading screen game was better than the game. Oh, hello, we're on the echo again.
That was me.
Oh, right. Yeah, there was one Specky game where the loading game was better than the actual game, but I can't remember which one. I haven't got any.
One Spectrum game. I'll say it before you say it.
Yeah.
I must say, okay, Teddy, what's the worst Spectrum game you've ever played? Because I have played some absolute awful ones.
Do you know what?
I played the other day? This one. The weird thing is, after playing it, I actually got.
Oh, that looked quite cool.
It's the.
Did you run out of time on your video that you did it? Because I noticed the time limit was right at the end.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that at the time. I thought, what the hell is going on? I thought the game had crashed.
So you have to actually run off the screen then?
Yeah. No, apparently there's a little lunchbox that you got to jump into. So I just
I saw that.
I've got to jump into it. So
it is cool artwork on there. It does remind me of the old Godzilla movies.
Yeah. Somebody said Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. If you ever remember that game or film.
I remember the film. I remember the film. I remember the guy in the front with with a tomato head, like.
I've got the game.
But I don't really think I could name many bad Spectrum games because I didn't
that sort of artwork. Ooh.
Very nice. You saying, Paul?
Because I didn't grow up with the Spectrum, I didn't like have to go through playing bad games because it's like only come like within the last few years. If a game's crap, I just turn it off and like just load the next one in. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get you.
so luckily for me, I only play good Spectrum games. So
Yeah, I must admit though, when it comes to the
try
Spectrum,
to.
there is some really good homebrews for it as well. And I even think the music for it at times is really pushing the Commodore 64 for music.
I mean, that's a bit of a reach, like, but yeah, I mean, it's decent. What you've got to think is you might be thinking of Commodore 64 music from original, whereas as with the Spectrum, it's moved on as well on the Commodore 64.
It has.
Some of the stuff
I mean, was it Sam's
especially
Journey?
the demos.
The music on that one. Because I
What's
said
that, sorry?
you're Sam's Journey.
Is that a C64 game? Is it?
Yeah. Have you got it to hand, Paul?
What? It's not. Oh, Jesus.
Have you
Robocop
played
just
that,
committed suicide?
Have you played that Mr. Hare and Kitty Catacombs? That's got good music.
I've only just downloaded that. I've not tried it yet.
That's got great music.
Yeah, that game there, it's one of those games that I think if you showed that to someone back in the day that it's playing on a Commodore 64, they wouldn't believe you.
This isn't just a Commodore 64 game. To me, I think this is the Commodore 64 game. I honestly think it's the best Commodore 64 game that's ever been made.
Did you get the cartridge one?
Yeah. Yeah, superb.
Yeah, I agree.
So we were going to do a bit of a show and tell there, weren't we? Then, Paul, just before we started the stream, you ran off into the house.
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
I know what you're being. Go on, just have some more wine and just.
Yeah, you're right. I'll just have some more wine.
Although to be honest, I am on the squash.
It was more of a pickups really, because I don't really like get the time to do pickups videos. So whenever I do like a Friday night wind down,
okay,
I just
tell you what,
bring some random stuff that I bought.
Let's do this then, and hang on.
We're going full screen.
Yeah, you're going full screen. If I can, there we are. There you go. Then let's pause Friday night wind down pickups video.
Right. Well, hold on. There is something else I need to get.
Your arse out.
I don't know if anyone managed to catch me videos about the Amiga, the Amiga collection. It was meant to be only 2 videos, and it turned into 4 because I just really got the I really got the buzz for buying Amiga games that I loved. I really got into it. And at the end of the last video, I was like, well, you know, there is 2 more games that I want to add to the collection. And then for me, personally, I think it'll be complete. And I've actually, yeah. Yes, I have. But it's what's underneath that he's more interested in. But anyway, that's another story. But there was 2 games that I still needed to complete my set of games, like that I've always had in my head that I wanted to win. So I may as well show them now. And the first one is this one, and it's called Dreamweb.
I've never seen that game before.
No, me neither.
It's like a point-and-click murder, like adventure. Sort of, it's like an above view. It looks a little bit like Grand Theft Auto, if you remember what Grand Theft Auto used to look like. You know,
top downs.
Yeah, it's like top down.
Are these ones you had back in the day, or just ones you've wanted to collect since?
Yeah, so these are ones I had back in the day, but obviously I never had. I think I had like about 5 original games back in the day. All my games.
Well, it's the Amiga, isn't it? Nobody had real games.
And I think that's why not only like it's weird because it's not a nostalgia thing because I didn't have the original games back in the day, but I really, really wanted them, and I looked at them in the shops, and I was like, man, I'd love to be able to buy them. And I think that's where the nostalgia like gets you a little bit, and like to own them now, I'm so happy with my Amiga collection. It's just all the games I ever wanted to play that I've managed to get. But yeah, the last one was the hardest one to get, and there was a guy put one on Facebook, and no word of a lie, it probably took about 4 months to seal the deal. It went backwards and forwards forever. Yeah.
Can we ask how much, or should we not?
It was less than £100.
Okay.
Well, yeah. To be fair, it was less than £80 as well. So you probably have an idea of how much it cost. But I mean, you can go online and they're way more expensive on there, especially for the condition that this one came in.
Is this gonna? Can I have a guess?
Yeah, but if you guess this, I'll be
No, if
amused.
it's a non-obvious one, then I won't, because I don't know if you've got it already. I was going to say Crazy Cars 2.
No. No. For me, the Amiga, like, other than the Football Manager, Championship Manager, I used to play so many point-and-click adventures, like Beneath the Steel Sky, you know.
I never really played any of those point and click.
Oh, I absolutely.
My best mate did. He played them all the time. Yeah, he played all those. And what's there? Something Sword, Broken Sword, and
yeah. What did you say? Broken Sword.
Was it Broken Sword? Was that a point?
No, that was PS1, but that was awesome as well. I enjoyed that, to be fair.
Yeah.
There was one game that I really wanted, and I played it. I had a demo of it, but one of my discs didn't work as a kid, and to own this game, it's so hard because it didn't really sell that well. But it's just a fucking amazing game, and it's called Universe. And
you know, that cover looked familiar, but I don't. Was there ever a PC game as well?
Yes,
that's where I've seen it. I've seen a big box PC version of that.
I mean, this picture here, this was always banded about. This one, as you can see, it's like point and click. You're walking around, you know, it's the usual stuff, talking to people, getting, like, solving puzzles and what have you. But not only that, inside it's fully complete, all the discs, manuals, etc. But what not a lot of them seem to have these days is the postcard artwork, which is just absolutely stunning. And there's a few of these. These are different locations within the game. I mean, look at that.
Oh, that's
nice. The thing is, though, a lot of people, I said, if you did buy these, you know all that stuff would have been thrown in the bin.
Yeah.
It's just the amount of stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the one.
That's the picture I've seen. I have seen
that's the one everyone knows
so many times. Do you know what? Weird thing is, I think I actually had that on the big box PC.
That last picture looks a bit like me on the computer.
So those were, in my mind, the two games.
Let's bring us all back on then. Oh,
that I wanted.
That's
the OCD. So yeah, so I picked them up. So that's completed the Amiga collection for me. I'm not actively hunting for any games. Managed to get Stunt Car Racer and Monkey Island 2, like all the games that I've always wanted. So,
how many discs is Monkey Island? Is it 7? It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that many. I think Beneath the Steel Sky, I think that's like maybe 15 or something.
Really?
And I think the Indiana Jones might even be into the late teens. It might.
Wow. Do you know what though? I remember getting games like that, but always from my mate, and they just used to come as like a stack wrapped together with an elastic band. And the amount of times that, like, because I've got 5 brothers, one of them just lost one or something like that. It was annoying.
Just gotta hope it's one of the later ones, so you don't get that far.
We should just say, anyone in the chat, if you want to join in or you want to jump on, you know, within reason, we can send you the code thing to join in if anyone wants. Because I know Lee Retro Chef likes to get on. He likes to get his face about.
What? Just see this comment.
Niggas always loving the T-shirt because it's the thing. Scott, I need to speak to you about some VHS.
Yeah. You know what? When he was showing all those videos and that one came out, I went, pause on that.
Oh, nice. My favourite movie. My favourite movie of all time.
It's my favourite horror movie of all. I think Aliens is my favourite. But the thing...
Aliens is second for me.
We're going to get on very well when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
Talking about aliens, though, I did pick this up. I was the other day, and I sent Paul a picture. This one shop had games. I think one was Minecraft for the Xbox 360, and they had it at £30. Right, absolutely ridiculous. But then the very next shop,
this feels like, but it's actually in the video player.
So, how big is your
VHS? I've got a VHS.
Bit personal.
I said, Paul, how big's your VHS collection about to get after Sega Zombies sent you?
Well, so what I'll show next, I'll show you because this is the first one VHS I've bought in a long, long time. But even after this, it's probably going to double in size because Scott picked up some amazing films that I'm very interested in. But has anyone ever seen this? Pick this up on VHS. Dark City.
Oh, brilliant movie! Do you know? I saw that before I saw Matrix, and at the time I thought Matrix kind of copied a lot of the ideas. Yeah, I think Matrix copied a lot of ideas from that movie. Brilliant movie.
What's Ali asking here to Paul?
I don't know.
Have you actually watched Dark City yet, Paul?
Oh, well, so there's a little bit of a story behind it because the first time I went to see, like at the cinema to see Dark City, I actually somehow managed to miss the first 5 minutes.
Right.
But without seeing that, that first 5 minutes, it makes the film mind-blowing because you literally haven't got a clue what's going on. And it wasn't until 2 or 3 years later when I watched it on VHS and I saw the beginning and it tells you what it is. But I had no idea. And I remember coming up to the cinema and I was like, wow, that is one of the most mental films. I haven't got a clue what how or anything.
I'm gonna have to see if I can get hold of that now.
I almost think it would have been a better film if you hadn't have seen the beginning until the end or something.
Maybe.
Because for me,
I
was totally blown away. I enjoyed it more not knowing the first time than actually knowing and watching it the second time.
Martin of the Hobby Lodge has joined us.
Hey,
hello.
How you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, good. Yeah, are you guys all right?
Yeah.
These two are talking about The Thing and Aliens, so
Dark City, I think I picked up that VHS delivered and it was under $5.
Nice.
So I'm actually thinking about getting rid of my VHS collection. I've got loads of 80s cartoons, and they sit there and they don't get used. To be honest, I was actually thinking about getting.
They do use a bit of space, don't they?
Yeah, they take up space, but where you've got your shed, Paul, where you go in and you put a video on and just watch it, stuff like that. I haven't really got anywhere that I can just set up a video player and just watch it. But knowing me, I'll sell them all and start collecting laser discs.
Well, anyway, so that was the VHS. I think Martin, you're subscribed to this as well. I picked up his Zap 64. I get it every 2 months?
2 months, I think. Yeah, 2 months.
So I'll pick this up. It's really good for anyone who's into their Commodore 64. It really is. It's a great little Margin. Not sure how, obviously with Ollie Freer dying last year and Roger Keane as well, and they were both involved with making the Zap 64 magazines and originally, and they were also helping out with this, and they were close friends of Chris Wilkins. So it's bit of a sad story, but I'm glad that the magazine's going to go on and hopefully they'll reuse a lot of Ollie's artwork because it is the best. And I adore
it's artwork of a generation, though, isn't it? Really, even if you weren't a gamer, you'd seen some of his artwork.
So then, because it took so long to get that game Universe, and I was absolutely done in with waiting, with the backwards and forwards. Is he going to sell it? Is he not? I ended up buying the CD32 version of it. Nice. Because it came up at the right price, and I was just like, do you know what? I'm just gonna bite the bullet and buy this one. And then at least, even though it wasn't the Amiga disc version, at least it was an Amiga version of Universe. So
is there any differences between the two, or is it music different?
I've not played this one yet. So I've only played the disc one. I know, on Simon the Sorcerer, if you buy the CD32 version, or if you play that on the Mini or whatever, it has the Chris Barry voice, all the voice work. Whereas the disc version, it doesn't. It's text. You get text as well, but.
Do you know what? Everyone always talks about point and clicks on the Amiga and great games and all that. But do you know the game that I played, and it's probably just because it's one that we got and copied of a friend, but the one I played a lot was Hook.
Who?
Hook on the Amiga.
Yeah,
The point and click
I'm
hook
not
game.
dead on the Amiga.
That's the game to me that sticks in my head more than Simon the Sorcerer and all the rest
You
of
should
it. 'Cause I
really
never
play.
had
You
those.
should really play Hook on the
Commodore 64.
Oh,
You're gonna have
Is that a sneak peek? Is it?
little
God.
tease, little
Is that a teaser? Is that a teaser? You know, that was the last game I had to get. I think me and Martin spoke about it, but Hook was the last game
Bloody
I
hell.
purchased to complete my set. I'd bought the rest
Brace yourself. Brace yourself.
because they came from Canada. Oh my god!
What?
What?
Evening, Lee.
Japanese butler. I like it.
Exactly.
That string
What were you
vest.
saying, Paul, about the game?
Also, because like the rest of the ones I needed would come from Canada, they took about 3 months to get here because they were coming by boat. So Hook, even though Hook was the last game I bought, Hook wasn't the last game I received. It was the last game I bought to complete my set, and Martin's nailed it there. Like, so fair play.
Yeah, it's a good one to get. Good one to get for sure.
But only a couple of more pickups. I got that. Si, I think you text me, tagged me in this. Basically, the guy was giving it away. He just wanted postage for it. And
I've got a job to see these on my tiny little phone screen.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Oh, hang on. I just removed him.
You didn't remove me. You didn't remove me. Oh, no, I'm back. There we are.
Siren
Wow.
City.
Look at that
Yeah.
action
It
shot
was me
there.
that tagged you in that because I don't.
Yeah,
remember
it was definitely you. You tagged us in that, and the lad only wanted postage.
Oh, hang on. I think it was Lee. I got rid of. Retro. Unless
Which
he's just
one?
Gone. Retro.
Which one? Oh,
Because he ain't there.
Last but not least,
bring my butler back on. Gumble.
are we going?
Yeah.
So, last but not least, I realised that I didn't actually own the original Resident Evil, like the actual normal Resident Evil. I only owned Resident Evil Direct because that's the one I play. I prefer that one. So, stupidly, before speaking to Scott, who, as we all know, has an amazing shop. If anyone wants to buy any retro, please check out Sega Zombie in the Retro Realm, because he's got all sorts of stuff there. Before I spoke to him, I decided I would take a punt on one that was had a few more minutes left on the sale on eBay, and I got stitched right up. I paid 16 quid for this. So you might think that looks like semi-okay until
Yeah.
you do that.
Oh.
Oh no.
And there
That
was
is
no
the worst.
photo of that.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Now, to be fair, I knew there wasn't a manual, so I can't complain there. Oh, and it was in a jiffy bag, so the box is fucked as well. Mint.
16 quid.
But the disc is actually all right. The disc, and it does work. But yeah, there's no rear to it. There's no manual. The box is knackered because it was sent in a jiffy bag, and I was like, right, I want my money back. So he was like, look, I don't do returns. Like, and I goes, look, I says, at the end of the day, I went, there's no photo of the back. You didn't put it in the description. I was like, we can take it to eBay if you want. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to save the hassle.
Anyway,
So-
you've always got returns on eBay, haven't you?
Well, exactly. Even though it said no returns, I was like,
Yeah, it
because it's
doesn't
not
matter.
as the items described. I was like, that's doesn't work for me.
Exactly what Sega Zombie says. 16 quid for disc only.
Well,
Yeah.
and a front cover. So,
But it's not even the whole front cover, though, is it? Because it needs to. Oh, yeah, it does, because it's the back piece that curls round.
exactly. So, like, he says, "Oh, right, how much do you want then?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "How much, like, discount or money back do you want?" And I was like, "No." I says, "I genuinely want to send it back. Like, I don't want it." And I went, I'm even willing to cover the postage. I went, just to send it back to you. Like, you know, I don't mind paying the 2 or 3 quid. Just have it. I went, and then just like give us like the price of the game less the postage back. Do you know what I mean? And we'll sort that out. And he was like, I got another message. This was only today that was like, for fuck's sake, you couldn't do all the same. And then I got a full refund, and I'm like, what is wrong with people? Like, I'm saying I'll send it back to you. I'll pay the
Yeah.
postage, and I still get abuse. And I'm like, fuck.
Well, it's the internet, isn't it? Really, I mean, abuse
Yeah.
is sort of like 75% of it.
So yeah, so I'm still on the lookout for a decent. Well, I'm still, but yeah,
What price do they go for now? Anyway, Resident Evil, first one.
between 25 and 30 quid. 35.
right, not too bad.
But
Because I think CEX sell it for. Do they sell it for like 32 quid or something? I think our local one's got it in stock. I'm not sure if it's that or the second one. I can't remember now.
well, so that was basically 16 quid including postage, and I was like, so yeah, I got a full refund.
Yeah.
So
It's soon to be on Swap Shop.
nah, do you know what? I'm just going to put it on eBay for a tenner and just see if someone takes it.
Do you know what? If you do that, you at least you'll take pictures of the back as well and let people know. That
So-
reminds me of years ago. I bought an Amiga 500.
Oh,
The
there's the
picture
Jiffy Panic
only
game.
showed, the picture only showed the Amiga 500, one game sitting on top of it, and another game sort of like angled across the bottom as well. And it was a reasonable price back in the day. I mean, you probably think it's a steal now, but when I got it, the bits that were covered were really, really yellow. Like half a bit of it had been left in the sun and was missing 3 keys. So someone had deliberately put games on top of it to take a picture to say, "Look, Amiga 500 and games."
Cheeky bastards.
Pissed me off. I wouldn't mind it, but that was my first getting back into the Amiga, and it was like my first experience was
Could have put you off.
a shitty one, yeah. So
Well,
Martin, how are you? You've not said anything. How are you? You're on mute.
I was going to say I've got me one last pickup. This is the last
okay.
one, and it's the most. I left the best one.
The
to
best
last
one.
Go on then.
Right, this will only take a couple of minutes, but the story does start about
You
3.5
can't do a couple
years
of
ago.
minutes. You can't.
I decided to back something on Kickstarter, and it was for new keys for the Commodore 64, which have never been made before. And there was like translucent ones, like blue, black,
New
red.
what? New keys.
Yeah, like new, like
What's a key?
keycaps.
Oh, keyboard. Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So I backed this project, and it got to what it needed to get, and I got a few extras because I backed it early and everything. And then COVID happened, and the company that were making them got basically they stopped making keycaps and started making PPE, and that was the end. And we're like, everyone's going to lose the money. However, the guy that done them, and he had loads of help from within the community. I forget the name of the lad. Dan Tootle. Dan Tootle was helping him out. He helped like with them like scanning the keys, I think, and stuff like that. But the guy who actually done everything was over in the States or possibly Canada. But after a lot of updates and 3 years of waiting, they arrived. I've got them here. All in this bag.
We need one full screen again.
Yeah,
We've got the keys. We've got the keys.
I've seen some
There we-
images of them. They're really cool.
Did you remember what colour you ordered?
No. To be fair, I thought I'd ordered all blue. However, it appears that it comes with a red space bar and red function and control keys, shift keys.
Nice.
But what actual
You get a
keyboard
Captain
you wanna put
America
them in, though?
64, yeah?
But then, because of the bonus, I was able to order two different colours of function keys. So it came with the blue. Oh, I spoiled it there, didn't I? It came with the blue function keys if you want to go all blue. But me extras, I got red, and these were free. It was just because I got in early and clear.
Nice.
So if anyone's after any either red or blue or clear, let us know because I'll be getting rid of them. Like
I'll definitely
once I
have
put
them,
them on, it'll stay as it is.
Stick
What's
them
that,
in my
Martin?
pile, buddy. I'll have them.
I should have known. It's like swap shop all over again.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait there. See if there's anything
It's
else I've got. There's anything else I need to get rid of.
Any Spectrum stuff, you can send it to him.
Well, funnily enough, I was speaking to Martin earlier, and there's a slight possibility that we may be able to have passing, and I was like, mate, whatever, bring a suitcase. I was like, because I've got so much stuff here for you. It is ridiculous.
I think Paul just wants some space back in his shed. I think that's all it is. But passing, how can you pass your place unless you were right at the very top of the country and back here?
So I'm on course somewhere, and Martin potentially is in the same place, maybe at the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
Whereas I'm driving a van to that place. So I've got a whole van.
See, Sega's on.
This is going to be one dodgy meetup, that one.
It's going to look really dodgy, isn't it?
Just open the back of the van and Marty's there. Like,
You've got to shake your hands when you leave, just to make it extra efficient.
And then you've got to be doing this all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you are dealing in Commodore 64 stuff. I mean,
then you start speaking.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, Martin, how are you?
Sorry.
very good, mate. Yeah, all good.
And how's the hit squads coming along? Because I've never seen someone hit the hit squads as hard as you have.
Yeah, so I've been collecting for just over a month, and I think I have in my collection now gone from 20. I started with 22. I'm now at 73. So that's
Christ, that's some fast going.
Does that include the ones I've got for you here, or in fact,
No.
there?
No, it doesn't include. So I only count them when they're in my possession.
I
That's
told
when
you
count
need to
them
go
as-
for the MSX one. It's only got 2. I think it's the MSX. It's got 2.
Oh no, it's a BBC one I've got here. I've got a little BBC one.
Oh, it might be the bit. No, it can't be because I've had a couple of BBC ones.
Commodore
I haven't got that one,
16's only
Paul,
got
if you
2.
wanna give that one to me.
No, I can't. This is out me said. Well,
Yeah.
Commodore 16's got 2.
Commodore. Oh, has it? I
MSX
didn't even
has
know
got-
that had any.
Commodore 16's got 2. MSX has got 2. Atari 800, I think's got maybe 3, and the
Wow.
BBC Micro's got 3 or 4.
I tell you what,
Possibly.
though, Martin, it's a good job you're not going for the Amstrad CPC one because to me, that one seems like the hardest full set to get. Honestly, I've seen people get the Spectrum one, even though it's taken a long time. I've seen a couple of people get the Commodore 64 one, but the Amstrad,
Mr. Bad's
They
has
just
got,
don't come
he's
up.
got all 3.
has he?
Yeah, he done it. He done it. I think it was about 3 or 4 months ago. So yeah, congratulations.
it
to
might-
him.
it might not
He's got a mega
Right.
collection, hasn't he, that guy?
Oh my god! Before I
it
started
might
YouTube, he's one of the original channels that I watched. You know, and it was a really good help and give me a lot of shout outs and
I've only just started watching his channel, but my god, he's got a collection there.
really good, really
Yeah,
good.
so there's 15. I think my count's 15 hits. Yeah, it is 15 hit squads that I've never seen. So there's no record of them on any of the various retro shops or eBays or Facebooks. So there's 15 that I may never. Hopefully,
Can
I'll
I
see
just
them,
ask
but-
which ones they are?
So I've never seen WrestleMania or WWF European Rampage. Konami's Ping Pong.
What one of those is harder than the other?
Yeah.
The European one is the hard one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
I've certainly never seen either of them. So obviously Lethal Weapon, Darkman, the Spy
comes
Loved
up.
Me,
That comes up as well.
A License to Kill.
That comes up as well.
Oddly, Star Wars, the original.
I still can't believe that.
Yeah.
And I sent Nerdy Geezer one just because he was collecting games. They collecting stuff.
I know. I did try to get it off him, but he wouldn't give
Well,
it.
you know where he lives, and he's not at home at the moment. So.
It might just bore you.
Pit Fighter, Stun Runner.
Yeah, Stun Runner can be hard.
Cyberball, Castle Master,
Castle
Puzznick,
Master comes up.
Yeah.
Puzznick does. Yeah, I've seen Puzznick.
Slap Fight, and the one you just showed, Arkanoid.
Yeah, Arkanoid pops up as well.
Yeah.
That's it's about 50-50 of difficult ones and ones that you should.
Yeah, I think
the
it's
thing
just
is, like,
timing.
when you've been collecting for like 2 or 3 years, you just see them coming up. And even now that I'm not really hunting them down anymore, like I still have my search on eBay, so I still see. Just because I want, like, if I decide to sell them or whatever, like I want to know what the market value is. You know.
Does anybody ever sell them as a complete collection?
I think I've seen. I've
I've
seen
seen a
someone
Spectrum
sell
set.
one. Yeah, Spectrum one. I think I saw.
Yeah.
No, I don't
not
think
seen-
it was fully
I've not
complete.
seen
Because
one
people would pay a
It's-
mega premium, wouldn't they, for that?
I've seen a Spectrum set. I think it was about
No.
$3,000. I think for
Well-
a Spectrum set.
I mean, the thing is, like, what
That
normally
takes away the
happens is
fun.
people start when they're collecting and they get all of like the titles that you can get hold of.
Hmm.
So that automatically puts the people who are genuinely wanting to collect them, because they've already done that normally, off buying a full set, because
Right.
then they're left with all the doubles of the hardest ones to get rid of.
Right, yeah.
So
I know Scott gave up.
it's
on the
kind of
set,
weird.
yeah.
It would have to be like a really perfect timing where someone's like, right, I'm going to collect them, and someone
Yeah.
puts it up at the same time.
Because to me, that would spoil the fun anyway, buying them as a collection.
I've never seen.
I'm
a
into
full set before.
watches, and then people collect like the Dirty Dozen, which 12 doesn't sound like much in compared to games, but you know, some of them are really hard to get. But if you've got the full set, you know, you can sell them for just mega money, because some people just want to just go in and just buy them.
Well, that's what happens all the time. Like, the
Yeah.
best ones get picked out, private messages go around, etc., and then they're gone, and then all of a sudden you'll see a post, and it'll be like, you know, 90% of the full set, but like the rich pickings have gone. That's what normally happens.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, like.
If you got the full set, do you reckon you'd keep them, or would you move them on then? You know, your sort of journey's done.
No, for me, I'm definitely keeping it. Like,
right.
Yeah. I'm not.
For me,
Or you got lucky with your set though, didn't you? You bought it before the prices were silly.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things that happened. I got Skull and Crossbones for a couple of quid out of a charity shop. It was in the music tapes. It was down as an audio music tape. So I got Skull and Crossbones, and obviously Lethal Weapon. That was 15 quid. I offered him 10. He come back with 11 or 12,
you did
and I
did a retro chef.
I know, and now no,
Here's the thing, though,
that was right at the start. I think it was
just
like
before
the third or fourth
lockdown.
game.
Just before lockdown, I think I was helping a guy who got literally a massive bundle of Martin, if you'd have seen this bundle of Commodore 64 games the guy at the shop got, it must have been about 10 big cardboard boxes full of tape after tape after tape and discs and all the rest of it. And I always said hit squads are quite popular. And he said, well, what about this one? It was Lethal Weapon. So I put it up and somebody said, I'll give you 45 quid for it. And the guy just went, yeah, okay. He literally, because he didn't see the value in it. I sold them all for him after he'd picked a few out and sold them. I think the full collection that he got was well over $1,000 I got for him at the shop.
The problem with hit squads is the people who don't really seem to know how rare different ones are keep putting them on eBay for the most ridiculous. This is something we need to talk about, I think.
Yes,
because
it's not bad. Martin had a great
I
day of the day.
some of the most ridiculous prices of retro gaming. I literally, I can't believe these people make any sales. It's just ridiculous. It blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, but so I will get them. Hopefully, some of the hopefully a lethal weapon pops up from somewhere. Hopefully they come, but we'll see. We'll wait and see. But I'm enjoying it so far. It will slow down. I'm going super fast at the moment, and it will naturally slow down as I get to. I know I can get to. Literally, I have a whole piece of research in a spreadsheet. I know I can get to 107 fairly easily, and then the last remaining ones are the difficult ones. So,
do you get C64 sales groups on Facebook? I guess you do.
Yeah, so I haven't really exploited that yet. I'm kind of doing.
That'll probably be a lot better than eBay, I would think.
Yeah. So once I get to that
not as
more.
good. They're not as good as the Spectrum ones. Wow. See how the Spectrum ones are more like community, like sort of groups. The Commodore 64 one's like an actual sales page.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's very, I don't know. There's no like, you don't see people talking about game or, price and stuff up or nothing like that.
It's because the Spectrum community is the best one, you see.
Oh, it's really weird. Sorry, I just come back into that as you were saying Commodore 64 is not. They'll lynch you.
Right, I've got someone on my side now. So,
you know what? I never thought somebody could like the Commodore 64 more than Paul, and then I met Martin.
Steve, right?
Well, very true, very true.
Yeah, but I mean that's literally all I've been getting. I've not really picked up anything else. Well, obviously I've got the
Amiga
CD32.
Yeah, you would be. Yes.
Your CD32s. I cannot believe that you got them.
Yeah, to get two of them was insane. Yeah.
and then to go back and find the pads as well.
But what you've got to
Yeah,
think is you can reinvest the money from that into hit
Okay,
squads.
I have to ask though, Martin, what
Yeah.
do you think of the pad?
Oh, it's not very good, but you know, it's all. I mean, it's all right.
Some people
I enjoy
hate
using the original things. I wouldn't. I know. I will probably pick up. There's a Competition Pro
Yeah.
pad, I think. But
100%.
I think it's quite expensive. But I always enjoy using the original. I don't care if it's awkward
Yeah,
to use.
no, that's
or
what I
not.
mean. To me, the original, if you play with the original pad that came with it, it's something that connects you more to it, if you know what I mean. It's how it
Yeah.
was supposed to be. As good or bad as it is, that's the experience. That the pad looks like it's upside down, but that's only because we got so used to the PlayStation and everything else being the other way around.
Yeah.
So
That pad looks quite
what
cool
I'm
to me, but I've
trying.
never used it, so I've never actually seen one in the flesh.
Yeah.
That's the one that's like the one that comes with the Commodore Mini, isn't it? The Amiga Mini.
yes,
Yeah, but it's a
That
lot
one, yeah.
larger. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that's
lot-
right. Yeah, it looks
it's,
better. Yeah, the other one looks a bit small.
Yeah, Martin,
Yeah,
have you
that looks
have
quite
you got the
cool.
mini pad next to it for comparison of size? Because I've never seen the two together.
I can. Yeah. 1 second.
Are you going to compare sizes?
Yes.
Oh, now you've asked.
To
Hang
be
on.
fair, he did do this on his live stream. If he'd watched his live
Yeah.
stream, you would have known this.
Even get put away, does it?
Right.
This is very true.
I can disappear off for a minute now. I didn't want to go the same time as Si, otherwise it might look a bit sketchy. I was going to go grab myself another beer.
I like Tetley's TV's got there in the background. The old,
Yeah, that TV. I put
it's
a
a
post
beaut.
up on Nerd Chat earlier, and he's got attached to it a Pong console. That
Yeah, yeah,
was
I see
his first ever Pong console he had. But that TV is just absolutely perfect for it.
It is like nice. It's good stuff.
Oh, he's bloody gone off the screen now, isn't he? So what a bother! What a
Let's get another
what
beer.
a bother!
You
Go
know,
on,
they
let's
say
have a look then.
never work with kids, animals, and spectrum owners.
YouTubers.
I would have said gingers. Just said I've got a random joystick down there that I don't even know.
I
where the
do.
hell
I
it's
do
from.
think though that when I do complete the hit squads, I think the Kicks collection might be the next one.
The kicks.
I think, yeah.
Are you going to collect the blue ones, or are you just going to stick with the regulars?
Well, I suppose all of them, I guess, but
Mate, the blue one, the Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis was the only one I needed, and I got sick. I literally.
Have you ever
scoured
seen one
the earth.
since?
No, I've never seen.
No, not ever
I've
seen
only
one
ever
since you
seen.
sold it.
Well, I never had it, but I've only ever seen one other than the picture on Google. I've only ever seen one other apart from that.
The picture on
It
Google.
definitely
You know it
exists.
exists.
But it's got to be one of the rarest games on the Commodore 64.
Yeah, that's actually quite a big difference, isn't it? In the size.
is,
of
isn't
the
it?
it
pad.
is actually. When I did my review of the Amiga 500 Mini. It's one of the things I pointed out. I don't understand why they shrunk the tank mouse and also this pad. Like, if it's supposed to be, I understand the Amiga 500
Money.
Mini can't be an Amiga 500, and that could just be a box that looks like an Amiga, which is what it is. But the thing you're in contact with, the thing you're using to reconnect yourself with the Amiga, is either the controller or the mouse.
Yeah.
So why didn't they just make them the same size? The mouse feels nothing like a tank mouse. It doesn't. In
Have
the
you
hand,
seen? Do you know the
I don't
NES
mind the
Mini?
controller though. I think it's all right.
Did you ever have that controller on the Amiga? Were you able to use? No, I mean
No,
the
because that's a
original.
copy.
Oh.
No, because that's a copy of the.
Yeah, the original one. I meant.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
I don't
have
think this will work on a
that.
1200. I don't think.
Yeah, it will. It's a 9-pin.
And we got a Sega Zombie.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Hey, the Commodore
Hey, I knew
let's
it was
go.
I knew it was a
Hey.
9-pin. I didn't know if the Amiga would know what to do with it because obviously it's multi-button, isn't it? So
Nah, it'll only
Yeah.
work. There's only one button that'll work. But most of even the CD32 games, even though you've got all those buttons, it's normally one button.
Yeah.
Because
Martin,
it's
do
just
you know
directly ported Amiga games.
when
But
you were
yeah,
saying
I
about
was
the different
disappointed
size of
that
the
it had-
pads?
Go on,
You
go
know,
on.
you're saying the different size of the pads, right? Do you remember the NES Mini came out, but the NES pad was the same size as the original
Yeah.
NES pad, right? Have you seen the Famicom Mini? They shrunk the Famicom pad down to half the size that the original one was.
I don't understand
It's
it.
it's unplayable. You can't physically hold the pad because it's that
But
small.
The SNES Mini's got a full-size pad. The NES has got a full-size pad. The Mega Drive, I'm pretty sure, has got a full-size pad, and all the others. But then with the Amiga, they shrank the tank.
Yeah, even the PlayStation's got a full-size pad. Although they went for the original non-analog sticks ones, which seems a bit weird.
Yeah, I think that's really bad.
Yeah,
It's obviously money saving, but
It was money
Not-
saving. The
not
weird
weird.
thing is with that, right, is it flopped so much that they tried to flog them for like, was it 15 quid? I think you can get it at the time.
what the
Whereas now,
PlayStations?
price, yeah,
I
the
paid
original
20 quid
PlayStation.
for it.
Wow, I
And
paid
now they're
30, I
going
think, for
backward.
mine. I paid $29.99. I thought that was a bargain, to be honest. Although, do you know what? I've never used it. I don't think I've used that. I did use
all
the
right,
SNES
but-
once.
I wish it was easier to put your own games on. like,
Yeah.
I
seems
thought it was supposed to be quite easy, but I've never tried it.
Scott,
well,
how you doing,
hopefully
mate?
it will be. If
I'm
Martin
all right,
sorts me
mate.
out.
I'm all right. Busy day today.
Busy day at the shop.
Yes, right when I was
Good.
about to close, someone walked in with the biggest retro toy collection I think ever's come in off the street.
Oh my
Bigger
word.
than yesterday's
Wow.
collection.
Yes, sizably.
What?
Wow.
I
What-
put some
what-
pictures. I put some pictures up in my group, but it doesn't really do it any justification in the sheer volume of stuff.
Yeah,
There's
I
some,
saw
What,
it.
what era?
That's
was
got to be a
it?
fun job, that.
it's mostly 80s. There is some 90s there as well, but a lot of 80s toys. Like, can you remember Alf? The sitcom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's an Alf like puppet thing in there. There's Visionaries.
What?
There's
Scott, is there actually
Visionaries.
Visionaries?
So he is picked up
Did
then.
you say there's
Yeah.
Visionaries?
yeah, there's Visionaries. There's so much.
Dibs.
Well, you instantly
Scott, you
put
want-
those
you want
aside
your
then,
Happy
because I
Bank
definitely
details,
want
don't you?
those.
Martin, have you checked? Is there a Visionaries Commodore 64 game?
Oh my god! Imagine
There is
that.
there's a
There can't be.
Centurions one.
Surely there is.
There isn't a Visionaries one.
If
Oh,
there is,
isn't
I'll
it?
buy it right now.
There's two masked
Visionaries.
Commodore 64 games. I'm sure there's two He-Man ones as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
the He-Man games are awful. I done a Spectrum Spectacular on the He-Man games. They're that bad.
I sent you them.
You should have
You
said
were
that,
right.
Scott.
Together, didn't you?
And they were me. I told you they'd enjoy them, didn't I? To me, they just look very spectrumy.
I love that. When you say very respect to me, you mean crap.
I'm only
Yeah.
joking. You know I love my specky. You know I love my specky.
You
Don't go
love
there.
the homebrew stuff.
No, I like some original stuff as well. Like, I mean, for me, Exelon is awesome on the specky. I like it better on the
I
specky
know
than
every
the
time I do a
Commodore
live
64.
stream, you say put it on.
I do because it's an awesome game.
And he must love Chase HQ compared to the C64 one.
Yeah.
I'm not really into that genre, really, so I didn't really experience.
That old
Convenient,
chestnut.
that, isn't it?
I don't like racing games or shooting anything. I like puzzle games and that, you know.
Yeah, you wouldn't like racing games growing up on a fucking Commodore 64, would you?
Oh, hang on.
I only have had two. I only have had two, but luckily for me, it was Stump Car Race and Ivan
that's
Iron
good
Man's
game.
Off Road.
Oh,
I did have Pit Stop 2 as well. Pit Stop 2 was good. Pit Stop 2 was good, but there were some absolute stinkers on the 64, like real bad. But anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's not lower the tone.
So, have you got anything to show and tell anyone? Anything to show off you've got in your collections?
I'll tell you what, yeah, no TI-99, but I've picked up a few bits and bobs. One of them I'm a bit gutted. I seem to be cursed with this game. Hang on. Right.
Well,
Now,
that
I
Resident
bought-
Evil thing, Jesus.
I bought Saberwolf ages ago. One of my old favourites back in the day, a classic game. And I bought that. Right. No, this one. Came in a nice box. Hang on, there we go. Came in a nice box, nice condition. Had the manual and that in it. But when I went to play a tape, it was just the most stretched tape I'd ever come across. You know, when it just goes. I thought, oh shit. So I tried the other side, same thing. So I contacted the seller and said, oh, the tape's knackered, it's completely stretched. Can I return it? And he just refunded me and just left it like that. So I thought, oh, okay. So then I've been on the lookout ever since. I thought, well, the box is good. Maybe I'll find just a tape on its own that I can
Did
transfer
you not get
in
any
there.
abuse? Did you not get any abuse off him
No,
first?
no. Do you know,
Like
I
what
didn't even know.
or was that just...
I didn't even know he'd refunded me for a little while because I didn't get any notification of an email back from him. And I just thought, well, if he's not.
Was it?
yeah. To be honest, I thought if he wasn't going to accept it, I'd just think, oh, never mind. But I noticed he'd refunded me, but he didn't send me any message. And so anyway, I've been looking for just a cassette ever since. And I was looking on retro games a little while back, about 3 weeks ago, and I saw this one with this really squash box, no manual, but obviously I thought hopefully the tape will be good. And I'm gonna have to try Sega Zombies trick of the radiator, because the tape it starts loading and it gets about 3/4 of the way through, and then you can hear like the tape squeaking. And it's the same on both sides. I've tried sort of rewinding it, fast forwarding and everything. Sable Wolf, I'm just kind of cursed on that game. So I've got 2 Sable Wolves.
Yeah. I've got the same curse when it comes to Death Wish 3, because Gremlin tapes are renowned for getting sticky as they get old. So, and I cannot get an original version. I've got 3 original Death Wish 3s on Gremlin. You know, the big box like what you've got, Scott?
Yeah.
The double jewels, and none of them work.
That's funny you say that about Gremlin, because I've got the same problem, but with Jack the Nipper.
So,
that always was a bugger to load, though, that one, wasn't it?
It's a nightmare to load that game.
Jack the Nipper and Joe Blade are the only ones I can remember, which were always a bastard to load back in the day.
Scott had a game that was left outside. The postman left it in a bucket.
I saw that.
I cannot believe you got that back to life.
I cannot believe I got that.
Oh, you got it back to life? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's fully working now.
Yeah, fully working.
I'll have to try and persist with that. You know what's a stupid thing though, Scott? I'm like you. I know you mentioned the other day that you don't like to play the games unless you've got the physical. Because I could have just downloaded this on a Next, and I'm just dying to play Sable Wolf, but I won't play it on a Next. Once I've played it on the Plus 2 or the cassette, I don't mind playing it on a Next. But the first time I play it again, it's got to be loaded on the cassette.
Yeah.
So
and I've managed to teach myself with the Next as I hook my tape deck up and I have to buy the game, load the game.
Yeah.
And once I've loaded it, I don't mind playing it straight off.
Yeah, same. I'm exactly the same. It's weird, but I'm exactly the same there.
Yeah.
But anyway, other pickups I picked up. One, I forgot, because I haven't got my GameCube, and I can play my GameCube games on the Nintendo Wii. But I've got a US Wii because I lived out in Argentina when I bought my Nintendo Wii. So that's a US one. And I picked up this because it's always looked great. I never had it. Wave race. But I forgot that.
It's an okay game, I'd say.
Oh, is it? Well, I was looking forward to it. But then I forgot that you need a GameCube controller to play it. And stupidly, I sold both my Wavebirds a few years ago for next to nothing. And now they're bloody fortune, those things.
You're not getting much change out of like 60 quid.
Yeah, 65 quid I think now seems to be a sort of going rate. Yeah, I think I sold both of mine boxed mint. I think I sold both of them for like 25 quid each. Oh.
But that's the whole thing though with GameCube though, is at one point GameCube, because I always said I was going for the set, and it was really fun to collect because it was a really reasonable price of the games. But over the past like 4 years, the price has just shot through the roof.
Yeah.
Some of the games that you can pick up on the PlayStation 2 for like a $5 are like 100+ games on the GameCube.
Well, especially if you use eBay sellers like what Martin was showing to me before.
Oh, yes.
That guy, yeah. I think we all know that guy. As soon as I see that background behind the game, I know straight away it's a rip-off. So it's like a pre-warning.
But he sells them all in little baggies, though, doesn't he? That's the baggies.
So the guy today was selling a boxed Commodore 64, just looked pretty standard in the box, with a disc drive, so the 1571, and a tape deck, all fully tested and working. It said so in the title. £550. Obviously, I bought it because it's Commodore. I don't even look. I just pressed the button.
Yeah.
It was £550 for a Commodore 64 and tape. So the one I'm looking to get off Scott. Don't get any ideas, mate.
I was going to say I'll do $450.
Yeah, but that's a bargain. I love it.
I'll do 400.
I'll quickly show you. I won't go through all my pickups here, but I'll show you one I did pick up because it was. I think it was Martin's stream that I saw it on. I don't know if you can see that. Super Pro Protector. Brilliant game. I've been playing this pretty much every night for, I don't know, a week or so since I picked it up. Really, really good game. I can imagine it'd be way better in 2-player, but really enjoying that. Good game.
Pro Protector, though, is Contra, isn't it? I sent you the link the other day, Scott, didn't I? Was it yesterday that they've put Contra onto the television?
Yeah,
honestly, it shouldn't run. I must admit, the Intellivision has not, out of all the like Atari 2600 and Intellivision, I would say a ColecoVision. I mean, the Intellivision has got like the worst graphics.
Yeah.
So to get it running on there, use that pad, that circle disc to try and run with Contra.
Oh,
There'll be a lot of squaring at the screen, wouldn't there, sir?
Which system do you reckon has got the best homebrew scene out of all of them?
Spectrum.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Just because it's supported by so many more people. The Commodore 64 is great, but as far as volume and everything goes,
no, I agree.
I'd say that the least supported I've seen is probably Amstrad.
The question is,
surprising.
The question should have been, which system has the best homebrew?
Well, that is Spectrum.
It's not quantity, it's quality. It's quality over quantity, guys. You know.
When you show me a better game of Redshift, then I'll accept
Martin,
it.
have you tried this one?
That's
have you
true,
played this?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I did it the wrong way around.
Well, I mean, hopefully, if it happens, that we'll get a Commodore 64.
I want that.
We'll get a 64
It's
release,
so
right?
cool.
Do you know the annoying thing about that though? Is it's bitmap, isn't it? And you're never going to see that again.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I had a hassle getting hold of that one actually, because I was watching those big boxes for Redshift, and I think I waited till there were about 5 left to order it because there was only 50 of them, and when it got to sort of 45 had gone, I ordered it. And it just didn't turn up as usual. A bit maps off. And when I contacted him, he said, "Oh, they're all gone now." He said, "Oh, there'll only be a normal edition." I was gutted. I said, "Oh, you bastard!" And I said, "Okay, I'll accept it. You know, just send me a normal edition and refund me a difference." And then it sort of went on for a while. You know what it's like. It was about 2 weeks.
I think Martin knows exactly what it's like.
Yeah. But then he just out of the blue said, "Oh, I've just found another one, the big box." I said, "Well, yes, please then." For fuck's sake. It was about 6 weeks from ordering it till I received it. At least I got it.
Are we talking about bitmap here, by any chance?
I ordered this in August and got it in December. So
they were saving it for your Christmas present.
We have to ask though. I mean, I think the worst one is Scott, who actually got broken games off them, and then it took how long to get the replacements?
But wasn't that user error?
Oh, don't even go there. Oh, yeah, user error, the famous line that haunts me still to this day.
The amount of times I tell you that now.
Is that what he said? Was it?
Step away from the TV.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's about 3 months, I think, I waited for my replacements, and I only got 2 of the 3.
Yeah, you didn't even
really.
Yeah.
What I can't stand though is I supported them way before, you know what I mean, like doing videos and everything else. I have got a lot of their bitmap games and also the Phoenixware games, and now they're just gone. Because
they sent this email out, didn't they, about sort of September, October last year, saying that they were going to have like a big change around and the prices were going to go up and all this, but the store is going to have a revamp. But here we are in, coming up February, and nothing's, everything's just out of stock ever since, hasn't it? So I don't know if they're going to bother or not.
Yeah,
so I think it's only run by one guy, isn't it? Isn't it just that Jamie bloke, or is there actually sort of a couple of them?
There is 2 of them.
There is 2, is there?
Yeah, a guy called Darren, but he lives over in Ireland, I think.
Right.
So it's Jamie that does it all himself.
It is a shame because when they get things right, like that big box of Redshift, there, the quality of it is perfect. You can't knock it. So they put out a good product, but it's just so unreliable. Because before that, I'd ordered Speed, which I kind of wish I hadn't bothered when it didn't turn up. To be honest, I sold that on in the end, but that went missing, and that was going to be a Christmas present for me from my sister. So she ordered it like beginning of December. That was not last year before, and that didn't turn up till sort of after Christmas. And I didn't turn up at all actually at first. And I sent him an email, and he said, "Oh, I don't know what happened. It must have got lost in the post. I'll send you another one.
This is just sounding so familiar.
Yeah. But, and then I bought another game between that and Redshift, and the same thing happened with that. So basically, 3 purchases all had a sort of similar story, really.
It's crazy, right?
I've never had a successful order. I've ordered from them 3 times. The first time, the games were dodgy, and it was my fault. So they took months to refund. The second time, I bought Rogue 64, waited for about 2-3 months, and then the order just got cancelled. And then the third time I ordered, the game took 3 and a bit months to arrive. So I've never actually had a successful order off them. Where
It is a shame because
I could order tonight, and I know the Cytronics game will be here by Monday. So just
because all the developers are missing out, aren't they? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
people
That's
are wanting
the
to buy
shame,
the games, and you know,
that is for me the big issue.
Great
That's what I said
saying
about
there.
this game. The game's a great game, and you know, if you've got an Amiga 1200, it's a game you should play. But I can't recommend you go buy it because the company that
which game was that?
Black Dawn Techno Mage.
Oh, I remember you did a video on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
I've only got an A600 anyway. But
I still can't believe on that though that they folded the mouse mat and put it inside. It's just why include it and it doesn't fit.
You know, there is one more pickup, but it's inside because I've been playing it. I totally forgot, but it's an Amiga game as well. It's that one by Giza Games. You know,
the Yar Kung Fu or the Kung Fu Master type one. Yeah, that looked good.
With the top up gaming man.
Shall I go and grab it?
Oh, go and get it.
Go and grab it.
I've got a pickup here which I completely forgot about, and this is going back months now. I don't want to say pickup; it was actually given to me, and everyone remembers the Wii and remember it being Wii Motion and everything else. But I can't even pronounce this one. But have you ever seen? Hang on. Let's just do this so you can see it properly. Is it that one? How do I do it to make myself bigger? That one? That's it.
He's going
to be on the spot.
How you make yourself bigger, mate, so it's your own personal business. So nothing to do with
Anyway, can anyone pronounce this? Have you ever seen one of these before? Yeah, this is basically the Wii before the Wii.
Yeah.
And
it's a weird console.
It's quite cool looking, actually. Is that metal or is it plastic?
Hang on. I've got to pull it out. That's another one for Swap Shop.
That could be joined with the other one.
Yeah.
Basically, this is the actual unit itself. But
That's
the
quite cool.
games come on boxes like this. So if you want to buy a new game, you've got to buy the peripheral that comes with it. So the base unit literally is nothing. All the actual hardware is in here, but this is cartridge based. So the cartridges go in and slot out the top like that. So they sit on the top.
That is really cool.
And you
never seen that.
Where do you get this weird stuff from, sir?
This was given to me. Someone had a house clearance, and he said he just found this.
No way.
He thought it was a Wii.
That reminds me of the old top load VCR players.
Exactly. If you look at that, it's like
that's nice.
Cool. That is really cool.
But yeah, the actual I tried it because I was expecting it to be absolutely naff. Very responsive. Do you know the I just dropped that on my toe. That hurt. Do you know the actual Wii Motion like things you got for the Wii? This is like a proper tennis racket kind of thing. You serve it with this button that's on here. It really solidly built.
That's asking for damage.
And I was thinking because it's just like the art, you know what I mean, like a remote control because you got like little sensors everywhere, like on the top there. I was thinking it's going to be so delayed. It's really, really good, but it's more of that I love more than anything else. Just the top loading.
Oh God, yeah.
So
Cartridges.
has it got a sensor bar? Is that the sensor bar like sort of on the right hand side there?
This is it, yeah.
It must, yeah.
So that's what I mean. Is I was expecting it to be really laggy.
So is it
really
Nintendo?
fast.
Did you say or not?
No. This is not Nintendo. It's that is the name of the company. Is that?
So what year was that brought out?
A year or two before the Wii came out. Hang on, I'm looking for a date on here because
I wonder if Nintendo bought them out or bought the sort of technology in that of them.
Not. This is actually 2007 that this came out.
When did the Wii come out? That must have been that must have been around 2007, wasn't it?
I don't know. To be honest, it's been that long.
Well, I was living out in Argentina when we were out there from 2006 to 2009. So it must have been around that. It must have been around 2007. That.
I know that this one definitely came out.
Sounds like a great quiz question.
Mm.
Paul Retrobay, when was the Nintendo Wii release?
To be fair, it's probably been asked.
The answer is November 2006. I can tell you that's the answer.
There you go.
Well, this I think may even be the UK
You've
release.
done perfect. You've got this.
Thanks,
You've
thanks.
got this.
I got it.
The technology behind the Wii was actually Nintendo copied it off Philips, the Philips CDI.
Did that?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah. Philips actually took them to court
Oh
because
wow!
it used the
Didn't get anywhere.
the sort of technology of
No.
what the Philips made with the CDI, and yeah, there was a lot of who.
What happened with the court case?
I think it was settled out of court. I believe.
Oh, right, yeah. Nice big payoff. Well, with the money they made from the Wii, I don't suppose it would have been a drop in the ocean, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Has the Switch outsold the Wii, by the way?
The Switch.
I don't
Yeah.
think so. Not yet. I don't.
I
Think
think the Switch has outsold the Game Boy, hasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, something.
No,
like
it's
that.
past something. Yeah. Well, you got to think how many versions of the Switch are out now.
Yeah.
Well,
See, I've been waiting. I might be the only one like this, but I'm waiting for a Switch where you don't need the screen on the. Because I'm not that bothered about the sort of handheld side of it. I only
Sort of
really play
like
games on a screen. So like a micro console. Yeah, like a micro console. So you just plug it into the telly.
Did anyone ever get that the Wii that came out, the top loading one that was like a budget one?
Oh, the red one.
Like black
The
and
red
red
one, yeah.
Yeah.
That I always
And
loved the look
ironically,
of
it's
that one.
more valuable. It's the most valuable one now, isn't it?
Do you know
Really?
how many
It
of them
is,
I
yeah.
passed up and never
Really?
bought,
Mm.
and now wish I can go back and just pick one up because I genuinely think the color scheme, the
Wow.
way it looks a lot nicer than the actual Wii does.
They had one for sale in a local Facebook group to me a little while back. Probably gone by now if it's valuable. It was cheap. They were selling it cheap.
So according to my bit of research, very quick, the Wii has sold 101 million consoles. The Nintendo Switch has sold 114 million consoles.
So
well,
we.
Yes, so the Switch
Wow.
has outsold the Wii.
Wow.
The Game Boy, 118 million, and the Nintendo DS, 154 million. So
Wow, the DS
the DS
outsold the Game Boy.
Martin, have you seen how easy the quiz is when you've got the computer in front of you and you can use it?
pretty good, isn't it? No, I'm not reading it. This is just knowledge I've gathered over the
Yeah,
Hey, look,
And that's exactly what I used to say.
on,
Number
on
7.
subject of DS, have any of you guys ever seen one of these?
No.
No.
What the hell is that?
It was an open Pandora. I bought this. I bought it. It was Kickstarter before Kickstarter existed, right? And
It's like
I
a pocket
bought it.
organizer.
It's mainly emulators. I was going to do a video on this
Geezer
actually,
would
just to
love
see if
that.
it's worth persisting with, because I don't know if it's any good anymore. But it's mainly emulators and that. But
Let's have a look at I can't see the keyboard and that. What's the D-pad and everything look like?
That's pretty cool.
the D-pad's pretty nice actually. Hang on. Yeah, D-pad's pretty good. And then you've got
Oh,
these
what
little
kind of
nubs.
devices?
These little nubs which are like the analog sticks. But
Right, though.
I found it a little while back, and I don't know if it's sort of still supported, if it's worth, because I thought it could be good for like a Spectrum emulator or something, because you've got the keyboard on there. But to be honest, I'm so non-geeky when it comes to non-tech minded. When I bought this,
Same.
I used to work in a brewery, and I used to mainly use it for downloading stuff from iPlayer because I used to work night shifts on my own. So I used to put the telly on there. I'd download a few programs from iPlayer before I went to work, and then I just have that in the background just for a bit of company, really. But a lot of the stuff I couldn't figure out. But I thought, I wonder if it's worth sort of persisting with it now to get
It's not one
a
that I
speccy
ever see
emulator on
come
it.
up. It's not one I ever
No.
see come up. But if you need to look into emulation, Nerdy Geek,
You can see it's all like touchscreen. It comes with like little bit like a DS. You've got like a little stylus and that goes underneath. But I've never known anybody else have one of these. But
What was
it
it
was like I
called
say,
again?
it's an open Pandora. But it was
It's
before.
probably just gone up by about another 20 quid now, as everyone's like, look, it's that does look good.
It's quite cool. I did think about putting it on eBay, but I thought I might just before I do, I might.
You know
just
what?
see if
I
it's,
would not put that on eBay because it's just one of those ones that I don't see. I don't
Yeah.
think none of
Check
us
it
have
inbox because Retro Chef's already messaging
Yeah,
you probably right now.
there's a little booklet that comes with it.
seen it. Yeah, Retro
But
Set
it's-
probably just
it's-
said 20 quid.
Yeah, it's Linux or Linux or whatever you. I got the receipt there. You can see when I bought it. That was back in. Has it got a date on it? Yeah, 2011, 28th of April.
Oh wow! So
Jeez,
What
I
did
paid
you
three. I paid 380 quid for that. Jeez,
to watch.
fuck's sake! Well, to be honest, it's one of those things where you pre-ordered it ages.
Martin,
It took
have
a
a look
long.
on
The good
Yeah,
old
it's worth
days.
a go
The
for.
good old
Yeah.
days.
It was Jesus. It was like early Kickstarter where you sort of like crowdfunding or something.
Yeah.
And I supported it thinking it was going to be like really cool, but it took so long. When it finally arrived, I couldn't really. I realised I'm just not sort of techie enough to figure out how to do stuff with it. So I
What's
did
it
play a
called?
few
Just
games.
watch YouTube videos of other people
it called?
doing it, and then just copy them. That's what.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know if you'll
YouTube's
make
good
your
fun.
money back, but
No,
I noticed with these older sort of style systems, I had before the Evercade, Blaze were
Let's not
involved.
talk about the Vega Plus.
Yeah. They were, Blaze were involved with the Game Gadget. Did you ever see that?
I've heard of it.
It was like really obscure, and I backed that and got one.
Right.
And it's very similar sort of setup to the Evercade, but instead of the cartridges, you just downloaded the apps to play the games. And I had it kicking around for years, and I sold it a couple of years ago, and it went for more money
Really?
because obviously it was so obscure and there was so few
Mm.
in the market. So yeah,
The
I think
problem with
I
all
was
these
the only one
download
that had
ones,
one.
Do you know what the one I'm gutted I sold for really not much money, which are worth a lot now, is the I think were they called GP32s?
Yes,
Those Korean ones. I sold that for about 60 quid, I think, a few years ago, and they're worth a lot of money now. And that was a nice little handheld. That was.
yeah, I remember them.
Well, I was talking to Paul just before we came on air because someone's mentioned the Vega Plus there. What do you guys think of the Spectrum Vega? Have you ever had one of these? Used one of these?
Never played one.
I've never played one, but I'm interested to see what they're like.
Oh,
Somebody's
it is-
selling one on Sinclair for sale
Yeah,
at the minute.
This is what will shock you, right? Is these? I think at one point we're going for like probably 20 quid, and now
Yeah.
people are selling them 70 plus.
But I said to you, I got offered one for 30 quid, and I was
Yeah.
like,
This is the
nah,
second
I've only ever
production
heard negative stuff about them.
Do you know what's? I'm not going to say it now because that will end up on Swap Shop again. But I'm going to take it out of the box.
You will see I'm gonna get it out, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I'm thinking, what was he gonna say?
Yeah, and how does he make it big?
The one thing is, you can put an SD card in the back here, but it's the D-pad and everything on it. Everything is looks so
It looks
mushy.
horrendous.
But
It does
the
look crap.
worst thing,
It looks
right,
like one of them ones you buy for, like
Yeah,
TV
that's what I
game.
mean. It's
10
this-
times
I mean,
it's like $9.99.
It was already
Yeah,
bad at
no.
Spectrum, but now it also looks terrible as well.
it looks terrible because this here, every single game you play on it is blurry, fuzzy. You don't get a sharp picture out of this thing.
But how do you
And
tell the
I-
difference?
That'd be a
Other than
bonus,
that and
to
the
be fair.
Spectrum, then I can't see. how
It's not at
Martin.
I don't see the negatives here. Come on.
You keep setting them up, so I'll keep knocking them down, mate. Don't worry. Don't worry.
But anyway, yeah. So this is the one that came out, but then obviously the Vega Plus, didn't they? And that is a completely different story altogether of the Vega. So,
But a positive
yeah.
spin on that, though, Si, is that was the first sort of mini kind
Yes,
of
it was.
console.
It
So
was.
the popularity of
Oh
that
yeah.
brought all these minis out.
I think
Although,
the interest
to be
in that.
honest, the first
the-
doesn't
the
necessarily mean
interest.
the best.
I think the interest in that, when people saw the interest in it, they thought there's a market there. Like,
Here's another one for Swap Shop, though. I mean, just look how long this is. The cable. Honestly,
length,
it
mate.
just keeps on going. It is the most ridiculous length cable I've ever seen.
Ariston.
well, it is black, and maybe it would be shorter if it was white. If you wanted it really short, it would be yellow, but I'm not going to say that.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Jail,
Don't think we go any
pay
longer.
200.
You can tell he's got a bottle of wine, can't you?
Mm.
Well, I did. It's empty now.
Oh.
Oh, no.
But I have still got at least half a pint left. Yay!
You
Well,
can't say your glass is empty when you've just poured it into the.
No, me bottle's empty.
Yeah, your bottle's empty. Although, yeah. Any more show and tells then? Anyone got anything?
I've got
I've
some,
got some new
pickup-
homebrew.
Who spoke for? I didn't hear who spoke. I wasn't.
Oh, that was the same. I think they should have a fight.
Martin,
We need a photo finish here.
Yeah, I
I think it should be Bunk and Boob, the word association game. Sorry, I was talking about that earlier in the house and it's got to me head.
I jumped onto the old Cytronics and have been picking up some of the loose disc games they do. So before they got fancy with the plastic casing and the premium disc stuff they do now, they did just sell games as sort of, the floppies in the pouches. So these are the same cost as the tapes. So I've been picking these up. So this is a game called Oracle 3, which I did a video on. It's like a puzzle game. This one called Ultimate Cops. It's a sort of top-down shooter, so it's quite cool. This one's a bit like a clicker point. It's a bit like a Dizzy game, actually. This is called Scepter of Baghdad, and it's a bit like you have to pick up items and move them to other rooms, then drop them to then pick up another item and go elsewhere and try and unlock it as you're sort of going through the game. So I'll do a video on this one soon, and then a pretty good shoot 'em up, Armalite.
Yes,
I think
that's a re-release. That,
yeah, but it's really cool. So, but because I now have my amazing disc box that I have, I've now pretty much filled it with discs.
Wow,
it's like I literally can't fit any more in there now. So,
what is
this
that?
is
All
like
electronic discs.
So that's some of them are, but not all of them. Yeah,
right. I've got a question. Quick question. So now that you've added those as well, realistically, when it comes to the Commodore 64, how many titles have you got to buy from Cytronic that you don't own that they still make?
I definitely own more. Like there's less to buy than I own. That's for sure. So I don't know how many are left.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's more than Cytronic sell for a minute.
Have you asked if you can just buy shares and become a shareholder because it might actually be cheaper?
They might actually start sending you games with like your own name or something like that.
Yeah. So I guess that is probably a set I will complete. I probably will complete the Cytronic set at some point. So that would be.
Is there any Cytronic games that have been released that you can't get?
There is. There's ones that's been released and they've stopped
that's
making
when
them
prices
now.
of homebrew games go through the roof when you can't get them anymore.
Really?
There definitely is, because I've looked for some Cytronic games and it says that they like don't make them anymore, so you just can't get the physical version.
Do you know what's saying about things you can't get anymore? I put, because I didn't like either of them, I put Speed, the Spectrum Next games, Speed, and what was the other one? That Grelox
game. That is.
Yeah, but Grelox as well. Yeah, Grelox, right? I put both of those on eBay for 15 quid each. They're the fastest things I've ever sold. Both of them got sold by different buyers within 2 minutes of me putting them on there. I just like, shit, I put those too cheap.
Anything Spectrum Next, people snap up straight away.
Yeah. I literally just listed them and they were gone. I thought, what the hell?
Hold on. That Grelox game, that sounds familiar. Who made that game?
That's Bitmap Soft as well.
Yes, and that went for how much?
I put it on at 15 quid plus 250 postage, and as soon as I listed it, it was gone.
Okay. I'm just asking for a friend, that's all.
He's got one to sell.
Well, if you were to sell it, honestly, I'd put it on there probably 20 quid or something, because, like I say, it wasn't even on there for 2 minutes.
I'm going to put it on for like 250 and then just see what happens. That's
Paul, just make sure you put it into a nice plastic bag, little Ziploc thing at the top, add stones to it. Joe, what we're talking about homebrew games that have been discontinued that are worth a lot of money, though. And this Monument Games, they just don't make any games anymore. And this is Scott's fault because he actually got me into homebrew because of
I told you mine, didn't I?
Yeah. But this one here is Cray 5 by Monument Games. And this one was limited to 50 copies. Is all they did. And this game at the time was sold for £12. And I think this was sold for a bit more because it had like the 2 badges in it, not the one, if you know what I mean. So the collectible bits in it. But the last one that sold of this was £150. The last time one of these came up for sale.
What the hell?
Can I just ask a question between us 5? Because I think we all pretty much enjoy homebrew gaming.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask each of you, what is your favourite homebrew game?
What we've played so far.
You don't need to ask me, really.
For a game I keep going back to would probably hang on. See, now you say that, and then it makes me think. I love Last Train to Trans Central. I like
Awesome game.
I love Old Tower.
Pentagon's Quest.
Pentagon's Quest would be up there. It really would be, but
Awesome game.
I don't.
Mine's easy.
And then you've got
I've got so many.
Travel Through Time. I mean,
Do you know what? I'm sorry. I've tried to get into Travel Through Time, but I can't. I really can't get into that game.
Awesome.
I found Travel Through Time hard, to be honest.
Angels
I really like the
as well.
graphics.
I'm not a fan of that.
While
Angels
Martin's
is
over
cool.
there, can I just say he's probably getting the same game I'm about to show.
Travel Through Time is just
We'll
too
shout at the same
unforgiving.
time, Paul. We'll shout
Three,
at the same time. There we go.
2.
You're both going to whip it out.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
as you guys have said, Travel Through Time and Redshift, I will probably go with the Sword of Iana. That game
I've
is
still not
amazing.
played that. I've
No,
still
I've
not
that
played
yet,
it.
actually.
Oh, it's an amazing
I've
game.
not played it.
Travel Through Time, Paul will remember because I went mad on it. I sat there all day. And
Yes. I was messaging you all day.
yeah.
I could hear the music in the background, like during your messages. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I've not heard that music
That's a
before. You
hard
must be
game,
faster
though,
than
that,
I
isn't it?
am.
I think
If
it's a
you make
terrible
an- if
game.
you
The
make a
train
mistake
mechanics in
in-
that game are awful. The trains, I can't play that game. It's a travel to
If
time.
you make one mistake on there, you're screwed.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
terrible
you've got
train
unlimited
mechanic.
continues, so just get good,
Okay, good.
as they say.
Hey, I'll tell you one, which is probably my second favourite, which I know Si's got. I don't know if you play this much.
do you know
that
I've
one.
got that, but I've not played it.
Oh, it's bloody brilliant.
Never even
It's-
heard of it.
I can't get into it.
Oh, it's
I've not
absolutely
seen
brilliant. Right, I'll give you some advice. Go and look up, what's he called on YouTube? The one who does all the comparison videos.
I know
Chinny
what you
Vision.
mean.
Chinny Vision, because he explains it. When I was thinking about buying it, I watched a few people's videos, and they were all sort of confused by it. And I thought, do I pick it up or not? And then I watched Chinny Vision's video of it, and he explains it really well. And I tell
Put
you
the
what,
link.
I think it's
I think it's
it's
link in the chat, like in
Yeah.
our group chat.
oh yeah, I will do. But it's right up there with sort of the classic. What are they called? Ultimate games. Yeah, it could be an ultimate game easy. It's sort of like, it reminds me a lot of sort of Sable Wolf and those type of games.
No, I just
But when you
didn't
know
really
what you're
understand.
doing on it, it's really really good.
Do you know? I'm gonna say a completely different game that I don't think people would actually say, and I really like Metamorphosis.
Oh, I like that game. I've
really
completed
like
that.
this game. I love
Yeah.
love the atmosphere. I love the feel of this game. It's the leveling up and all the rest of it. I really like that one.
There's one I'd love to get that I've seen you play a lot, Si, and is it Meat Boy?
Oh, I've got that. That's a good game.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it. But like,
I can't complete the last level.
Is that still available? Because I definitely want to.
No.
You have to ask George.
Oh, is it a
No.
Bum Fun?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
How
I
have
was lucky.
not
I got an order in just before the website closed for that.
I'll ask George.
It's
Oh,
also-
surely if I ask him nicely, he'll do us one.
It's
Have you
got the,
have you completed that, Si?
Say again.
Have you completed that one?
I can't remember. No,
I
don't think
cannot
I've
get
completed it.
cannot get the last level, and I can get to the last level. You got like one sort of wall you got to jump across to on the right hand side, but you've got to sort of slide up through. There's a spike there. Can't do it.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that
a good one.
I can't see
So,
that.
Scott, what was your favourite one again?
Sword of Iana.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've still not played
What's that
either.
on? Is that
That-
C64?
No,
No,
that's
Spectrum.
Spectrum. That's one
Oh,
of the.
Spectrum.
Honestly, that game is amazing. It plays like
Was it on an
modern-
OSG video or something?
Is that a Next or a ZX?
No, ZX 128K.
Hmm.
It was Paul OSG. He was the
Oh,
one
I lost
that put me
everyone.
onto it. And he
Yeah.
said, Scott, once you play that game, that's gonna, because I kept saying, oh, Travel Through Time and Redshift's my favorite game. He said, please play that game, and I played it. And
So what sort of game is it?
It's kind of like a Metroidvania style game.
Right.
But what's really cool about it, it's the only Spectrum game I've ever played that has got modern day mechanics. Like,
Yeah.
you can actually make you in a lot of them sort of Spectrum style
Scott,
games.
what did you think of this game?
That game is amazing, and you can run fast, and how he moves a bit like the animations in flashback. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
really, really.
Have you done a video of it yet, Scott?
I was just about to say, I think you should do a video about
I'll
it.
do a video.
Yeah, I'd be keen to see that. Is it still
I did-
available? that one?
I did live stream it a little while ago, but yeah, as Scott said, the sprite, like even as someone who's, you know, obviously I'm a Commodore guy, but I have to
You have to lower
genuinely,
your-
I couldn't tell.
the sprite work in it is fantastic. It plays like a modern game, yet with a Spectrum sort of layer over it. It genuinely is really impressive.
The code and
It pains me to
the
say
code
that,
in
obviously,
game
but
is amazing. the code and behind that game is truly amazing.
yeah.
I think out of because Redshift blew me away in how great a shooter that
Oh,
is.
what a game!
Do you know what? Redshift isn't good for the Spectrum. Redshift's just a good shooter.
Yeah,
Full stop.
And it's the same with Sword of Iona. In just a good Spectrum game, that's a great game.
Has
So-
anybody else played nothing on the Spectrum? Because that just looks
Oh, I
like
keep
any
forgetting to
game
try
for the
that.
Switch.
Is that a
It's
Spectrum
weird.
or next game?
Spectrum? Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's
right,
like
yeah. I have
oh.
downloaded it actually. I've got it on my Next, but I haven't played it yet.
It takes you a little while to get used to because you have to literally pick up the ability to go left and the ability to go
I saw
right
your
and the
vid.
ability
Yeah,
to
I saw
go-
your vid on it.
I did actually figure out how to beat the first boss, and it's all about timing. When his eye opens, if you're moving, he'll kill you. Nothing you can do to get away. So it's
I
about
remember your video on that. Yeah.
running and
Yeah.
stop, running and stop. So
It's like that game Old Tower Side. I think that plays the best on the Spectrum. Of
Oh,
all the-
absolutely.
I picked up Old Tower. I haven't played it yet.
yeah, I think
I'll
it's a
play it.
fantastic game.
I
It's a
did-
really, really good game.
to
I
me,
did
the
that,
Spectrum. Sorry, carry on, Paul.
I was just going to say, I played that. Is it circle, triangle, square?
Yeah.
For the first 2 or 3 minutes, it's the most disorientating game
Yeah.
I've ever played. But once you get the mechanics of how to play, it's possibly one of the best home. I haven't got a physical, and I don't even know if
Yeah,
it's
The physical is really nice at that.
But
They've done it like sort of modern art type thing.
it is nuts. It is nuts. Like, please, if anyone's not played it and you've got Spectrum, and I'm not sure if it's a free download or if you've got to pay or whatever, but definitely give it a go because it is like.
What is the company? Isn't it like a Spanish one or something? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember who it was
they had
with.
a
You
couple
can...
of games, and all of their tapes were all screen printed. with,
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Paul, do you know like the actual design that's in the game where it's all crazy and psychedelic and everything? The actual tape itself looks like that as well.
So who's put the physical of that out?
I'll have to do. I can't remember the name of them.
If it's
I'll have
is
to-
it not ASP or
I'm not
something
sure.
ASP?
Something like that. Yeah.
ASP soft.
Speaking of glittery cassettes, that's the Quadron one
Steve,
came on
mate.
one of those sort of psychedelic.
Steve,
things. Have you
can
seen
I just say, Gates and Steve, you're going down. You're going down.
that?
Oh, Martin, with this quiz, I really hope you have properly up to the level for Paul.
What? No, don't say that.
2 years of torturing people. 2 years.
To be honest, Paul
Is,
should do
is,
really
that,
good.
is that going to be like the equivalent of what you call him hosting a World Cup and then going out, being knocked out in the group stages? The Saudis.
You
or
know
whatever
what,
it
right?
was.
Really good. The quiz is
So-
entirely Commodore based. It's either Amiga or 364. That's the entire quiz.
And that's what we agreed on. That was part of the contract agreement when Martin took over.
I have to ask
I'm
you,
really,
gonna
I'm
be
really
all-
looking forward to being
It's
on
going to
the
be all
other
hit squad.
side. I'm
Yeah,
really
are-
looking forward
are
to being on
you,
the
are you
other side.
keeping the music round, Martin?
Yeah, it'll be in there. I'm
Music
making some tweaks to various things.
Any
might be
sneak
some
peeks of
surprises
what we're
along
going
the
to be
way.
getting?
Yeah?
Any sneak peeks of what you're changing, or you keep it under your hat?
No, you can't
Nah,
have any
not a
sneak
chance.
peeks, you know.
You've
But
got
it's
to
going
watch
to
it,
be.
find out.
We'll see. There's a few different ideas and there's some little changes in bits and pieces, but it should be good. It should be good fun.
You'll do a great job, mate. Honestly,
We'll
It's
see.
really
If
weird.
Paul
It's
can
like,
do
it's, like, it's like I had a baby and I've like handed it over, and I'm looking forward to how it develops.
Gets
Like,
kicked off a cliff.
I think people are always going to watch the quiz because people can't help themselves. They want to know. They want to be asked questions, and they want to prove to themselves how much they know. Because
Do you
that's
know
why
what I
I
love?
like watching quizzes.
do you know what I love though, Paul? Your last ever quiz, Jim Tendo beat Retro Chef, and he'll never let him
Don't
forget
say
that.
that.
He'll never let him forget that.
To be fair, it was a perfect way to end the quiz. The quiz, that last quiz had Jim on who won the very, very, very first quiz, which was just part of a live stream. And he pushed Scott all the way. Who was our reigning champion? Who, to be fair, is like in the first, like the first year of the quiz when it was like winner stays on. You know, it was just getting ridiculous. So it was great to have like so many friends and so many people who know so much about gaming beyond that quiz. I felt honoured to present it when I did. I really did. It was amazing for meeting new people and new YouTubers. Like, you know, I would just ask people and they'd be like, "Oh God, yeah, I'd love to." And it was a great way of meeting new people. I got to meet so many people through the quiz. And
How long has the quiz been going?
It was 2 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2 years?
It'll be a solid 2 years, yeah. But what I didn't know was there was a quiz beforehand. But I don't know if it was Top Hat or Slopes or somebody like that used to do a quiz, but like it was years and years ago, and I didn't know until Larry Bundy was like saying a couple of days ago, and like we were talking about the quiz because obviously we didn't do an end of year special, so you know I don't know if this is going to stress Martin out a bit, but like, you know, hopefully Larry and Kim are going to take part in the next one that Martin does.
You need to do a Larry Bundy and Kim one. I want to see who wins out of them.
I still talk to them and that, so it's great that, you know. But yeah, like he was just he thought that I took it over from somebody else, and now I was handing it over. And I was like, nah, I was like I just started because I didn't know that anyone else was doing one before, and they weren't. Like I literally looked for it and I couldn't find it. That's why I started, and I just think it'd be cool to hand it over to Martin, and I'm hoping, like, you know, one day, like Martin will be like, oh, do you know what? It's time to hand it over, and he'll find someone whose channel he loves, and you know, just like he'll know that it's the right person.
I'm going to be like Putin. I'm never going to let it go. For
they would never let it go to a Spectrum
that
lover.
makes me Boris Yeltsin. Oh, I don't. Although to be fair, he was quite the alcoholic apparently. So
you say that as you're drinking out of a pint.
Exactly, but no, I like my mind's at rest because I know Martin and me share a lot of similar interests, and I literally couldn't think of anyone better to hand it over to be honest.
Martin,
and
just
I
remember,
think you do an awesome job,
number
mate.
7.
I really do.
Number 7.
Number
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
You have to write it on your hand.
So that the guy who hypnotized us, even though this was like 2.5 years ago, he's coming back. He's coming back for the first time, and they've said, "Do you want to come back to watch?" And I'm like, "No, absolutely not."
You want him to put it right so you remember the number 7.
Exactly, yeah.
But the say, if you're in
push
the
another one
audience and you've been hypnotized by someone before, then you can fall under what they're doing, even though you're not part of the what's going on. And I'm like,
stand up and start clucking like a chicken or something like that.
I can live without the number 7, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to cut my losses, but I will ask. I think she's going back. I think she's going to go and watch him, and I'm like, no way am I going back.
I think the worst thing about Paul is the more you try to remember the number 7, the more you forgot it.
Honestly, I literally used to have a picture, a white A4 piece of paper with the number 7 right there, and I'd still forget. Honestly, it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe
You just look at it as a blank piece of paper to you.
Oh man! But anyway,
So, what movies have people been watching? Anything good? Anything you've been? Oh, because I went to watch that. What was it called?
I want to see that.
Megan.
I want to see it.
It's good. It's good. It's just not Chucky.
To be fair, it looks like one I'm probably going to watch on the IPTV in the house and get a Chinese or something.
It's like a PG-13, isn't it? So it's not very.
15. It's 15.
There's not
They
many,
cut
like,
away
gory
every bit of
kills or
gore.
anything.
That's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not Chucky.
Everything's implied of what they do, but they never actually show it.
Yeah.
I think the creepiest thing in it is just the doll constantly staring at you with this blank expression on its face.
I went to see Avatar on Monday, and I must admit, I didn't. I thought the original one I thought was like stunning. It was the first 3D. Like I'd seen a few 3D films before, but that took it to like a whole different level. But to be fair, I don't think I've been back to the cinema since to see a 3D film. And this is the first 3D film I've seen at the cinema for is it 10 years since the original came out? It must be getting
something
up to
like
10
that,
years.
Yeah.
So the film itself it's absolutely gorgeous. When you watch it in 3D, you literally just like you immerse yourself in the world. It was really good. The storyline was really like a little bit annoying. It was a bit like kind of seemed to circle around misbehaving children, which when you want to go to the cinema and get away from
Get away
misbehaving children, all I'm watching is all these kids really annoy me. And I'm like, if I was him, I'd be like, even though I was at the cinema watching a film, I was but apart from that, visually, the cinematography, everything like that was absolutely stunning. Yes, there's
apparently he's going to be but apparently he wants to make 5 Avatar movies.
Well, that's what he always said. Right, there's definitely another
it's a new Rocky.
There's definitely another one coming, but
and they're going to introduce fire ones.
Whether there's another 2 after that, I don't know.
The first one came out in 2009. So the first one came out in 2009, and the second one came out by the time the third.
So we should be in our 90s then.
No, the film, the third one at the same time as the second one. So the third one's out next year, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just think it's lost all its. It was magic back when it came out in 2009 because it did look visually stunning, but now it's just like it just looks like a video game.
I have to say, yes, that's the one.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was all right. I thought it was. You definitely get your money's worth. Put it that way, because it's on for a solid 3 hours.
It's a long one. What about you, Scott? Anything? Oh, go on.
Oh, go on. Yeah, go on. Go on, Scott.
Go on, Martin. You were started.
I've been watching mostly old films. To be quite honest, modern cinema to me, I've kind of given up on it. It's just full of pretentious
wankers.
I'm trying to be PC in what I'm trying to say.
We've gone past that already.
We're past 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no, there's
watershed
that I enjoy and think are okay, but a lot of modern cinema is just it's they've just got to take it back to basics and just.
There's no inspiration, is there? That's the trouble.
Well, yeah, but the thing is the creative people out there that write great stories, great scripts, the great screenwriters and directors. They don't get the opportunity because they're not boxed. No. If they won't tick a box, then they won't get the budget to make the film. So that's the problem. That's the state of Hollywood now. So I try and watch more sort of foreign films, and
I like a lot of, in a way of horrors. I quite like a lot of the Spanish ones. I think they've got some good ones.
I like the Korean. Have you seen the Korean?
Oh, Korean ones are good. Yeah.
Like really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
My missus watches Korean stuff all the time, not just horrors, but just in general.
Easy, Tiger.
She might be watching this.
One new thing that I've seen.
Well, with our faces, I mean, who blame her?
It's not a movie. It's a new TV series, and it's the new Last of Us TV series.
That's brilliant. That's really.
Oh, I've not seen it yet.
I'm gutted. That's on Sky, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry.
Is that on Sky?
It's on the internet. If you know how to use that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So this was the question I asked you the other day, because I've not played The Last of Us, and I know there's a sequel as well, isn't there?
Okay.
Yeah. So I've not. But you can get the original. Is it on PS4?
It's on everything.
Yeah,
it's on PS3. It was the last ever game on the PS3.
To be honest, I thought the game was the actual gameplay. I thought was a little bit overrated, but the story was absolutely amazing.
So I've not played it, but what I think what I asked before was, can I watch the series and without ruining the game?
So they will ruin each other. So whichever way one you do.
Right. Oh, because how many far you get on. So is the series based on literally
the series cover? That's what's so good about it is the series. Bear in mind we've only seen episode 1. But episode 1 was an hour and 20. It mirrors the game very closely. They have stuck to the source material. There's some changes. There's the classic kind of a couple of race changes that have happened and a couple of little details that have happened from the game. So it's not exactly the same, but it follows the story very, very closely. So if you watch the series, you'll spoil the game, and if you play the game, you'll spoil the series. So it's
so basically watching the series is the same as in the game, but without doing anything on the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
Seriously.
to say game, I would debate whether The Last of Us is really a game. To be fair,
It's
There's
a bit
all
like
these
the
stories
Uncharted.
where
It's
you've
like
got
the
to press
Uncharted
buttons in
games, isn't
order.
it?
I genuinely
Uncharted,
really
I
love
think the
Naughty
balance
Dog
is
games.
just
I
right.
think they're
Uncharted, the
good.
balance is about level. But with
Yeah.
The Last of Us, I thought it was more sitting there watching rather than playing.
Do you know
So
what
I
my problem is with because it's Naughty Dog, isn't it? That
Yeah.
did all those. What my problem is with those games is you get into like certain areas and you feel like you're stuck in that area until the game wants to let you move on. So I never feel like it's a sort of open world, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they're
You know,
definitely not.
you'll be
open
there.
world
There'll be
games, yeah.
respawning enemies. You'll kill them, and then there'll be a few more turn up. And I wanted to play Last of Us sort of stealthy because you've sort of got that option, but it doesn't really let you because you always end up being spotted by someone, which you just think, well, how the hell have they seen me?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can pick up bricks and like throw them for a distraction, but they're still going to spot you at some point. Yeah, it's just.
I would definitely say The Last of Us is a game you should play once. Like if you've not played it, it's definitely worth a playthrough. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say the same about the second game,
It's
honestly.
not an expensive game. I mean, how many hours have you got to put in?
Not that many. It's not long, is it?
Yeah, maybe 10, 15 hours, maybe.
That's definitely doable.
I would have thought a bit less than that.
Nah, he's probably right because I'm shite. So
Oh, I'm rubbish as well.
There we go. I was
maybe Martin's just been like generous towards
Yeah.
me because he knows.
But I would definitely say the series so far has been one of the best things I've seen on telly for quite a while, like series wise. You know,
Definitely, it's
obviously
got a lot of promise. A lot.
Yeah,
of
it
promise,
definitely has, yeah,
because
yeah.
they weren't ticking those agenda boxes. I thought
there's a couple that have been ticked,
There's a
but
couple.
you know,
but I think
it doesn't take away from the story. I don't think it's not.
No.
It's not changed enough where you go, oh, that's completely different to how the character was. You know, so I genuinely think it's really, really good, and it's got the guy who plays the Mandalorian. He plays Joel in it, and he's a really good actor. So I think it's hopefully it goes really well.
What's going to happen though? How many Last of Us was there? Was it just 2 games?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think they'll all try and like squeezing another like?
Yeah, they've got to make it a
game
trilogy, haven't they?
Another, another TV series and stuff like that. Because I've never played any of these games. It's just not the type of games I've ever picked up and played. So, it would, for someone who has never been into these style of games before, do you think The Last of Us is one to play, or what would you recommend?
I'd go for Uncharted.
Uncharted,
Yeah.
and that's PlayStation 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
They
remastered.
I think as a dad, The Last of Us is an amazing game because you have to make decisions in that game that you kind of go, yeah, I'd do the same sort of thing. You know,
story-wise is good.
Yeah, it's definitely worth
Probably
a
why it's been
playthrough.
turned into the TV show, though, isn't it? Really. So,
Yeah.
How many episodes are there going to be? Do we know?
I think it's 8. I think they said. I think there's 8 episodes.
Pixel Plug says Heavy Rain was a great game.
It was a great game. I loved that. That was a brilliant game.
Yeah.
On a
So
subject
that-
of
that's another one,
TV series, have you guys all watched that? It's been out a long time now, but have you all watched Kingdom, saying about the Korean stuff?
Yes.
That's been my favourite series so far.
That's
If
the
you like zombie
outbreak
stuff,
one, isn't it?
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Because you've got the
Yeah.
2 series, and then you've got the movie as well, haven't you? Which sort of bridges the way for the next series.
Yeah.
But that for me has been the best series I've watched. Just think that's amazing.
I think the best series I've watched has got to be The Devil's Hour. Have you seen that?
Never heard of that.
Oh,
Never
that's
heard of it.
class.
Where is it?
That's class.
Fantastic. Watch it.
What's that on?
It's on.
It was on Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
Oh, Amazon. Oh, we got Prime.
And it's a British TV series, and it's the Doctor Who guy Capaldi.
Right.
Yeah, I think you guys were talking about that before, weren't you?
You know what? You kind of
Excellent.
when you delve the last few years, we've had so much American type TV shows and like Stranger Things and The Walking Dead and all of that stuff, and it's all great. Don't get me wrong, but it's more sort of popcorn. And then you get something made like The Devil's Hour, and you're just like, wow, that truly.
Do you not think?
Television?
Do you think the Americans will do their version? Because I think they might.
Possibly, yeah.
What sort of series is it, Scott?
It's kind of
Time travel.
Yeah, it's got a bit of
Ish.
everything. It's a bit of sci-fi,
Multiverse.
horror. I would say it's more of a thriller type.
Is it anything like Dark? Have you seen that? I love that.
That was German, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
That
love
was
that
on Netflix,
series.
I've
Yeah.
only seen the first few episodes where
the
I
first
think
series is
at the
best.
top, his brother went missing or something.
Yeah, that's
And
brilliant.
It happens again, or his brother
Yeah.
comes back.
Oh, you've got to finish
Yeah.
the first series.
No,
It only
I've only seen the first couple of episodes.
yeah, I'll stick with it because that's the first series is perfect. It's got about 3 series, I think. The third one gets really confusing, but the first one's perfect.
That was like me with Westworld. Like, I got the
Yeah.
first series, but the second series, I was really starting to
That
lose
went
it.
bad quick.
In the third series, I just
Yeah.
just didn't know what was going on, and I think it's been cancelled now.
Yeah.
But I think they overcomplicated it. They
Paul
really did.
OSG is going on about Jack Ryan now. Retro Chef keeps going on about that.
Yes,
I tried to
yeah,
watch
he was telling
that.
me about that.
I can't get into it.
I don't know that
weren't
one.
that keen on that. It just seemed a bit like CSI, that sort of stuff to me.
Right. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah.
We did watch what was a follow-on from? It was the same people that did Dark. I think it was 1899.
Oh yes, I watched that on the ship. That is
yeah.
awesome.
It's
took me-
good. It's not as good as
two or
Dark.
3 episodes just to
Yeah.
realize if it was dubbed or if
Yeah.
it was actually. That is how good the dubbing is. It's superb.
Yeah,
It
it's
really,
good.
what a show that is! Like I
It's
didn't have a
confusing as hell
clue
though.
what was going on. I love shows
We
that I don't know what's going on until
Yeah.
it wraps up.
But
and
is
I'm
there
like,
going to be a second series on that, or is that it? It's really hard to tell.
I don't know.
I don't know how they could follow
because they
that
might
on.
just all
but,
start. Who knows?
What is
it was good though.
1899? What is that?
Yeah.
set in
Yeah.
the olden
Yeah.
times or what?
It's on a boat in 1899, and basically there's another ship that went missing, and this ship that they're all on comes across the original boat. They go on, nobody's
of
there.
Event Horizon in that regard, wouldn't it?
Where can you watch this for?
Yes, it's definitely got an Event Horizon about it. And then you start wondering what's happened to all these people on that ship, and then stuff starts happening on this ship that you can't explain, and people start going missing, and then you're like, oh my god, it's happening again. And then has it happened again? And
It's not like that because there's that movie called Ghost Ship, isn't there? That's a horror film.
yeah,
where-
yeah. I went to the cinema to see that. That was
I need
That's
to
the one where
watch
everyone gets
this
their head cut off at the
1899.
beginning, isn't it? Like the piece of wire goes across the decking and cuts everyone's heads off and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pretty insane beginning to that movie.
Do you know what? I wasn't sure if I'd seen that. I wasn't sure if I'd seen that, Martin, until you described that bit. But yeah, definitely seen that. That's one of those scenes you don't forget.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
OSG is just chucking out all.
I'm trying to
OSG,
keep up with them.
OSG, have you
yeah,
ever seen
that's the one he was telling me about. That's the one he was telling me about.
The
The
recruit.
recruit.
Recruit? No, I've not seen that either.
I know. Like I've got a page saved on my notes where I write down series that people say, but when I'm on live streams, I never write them down, so I always miss out.
Yeah, no, the terminal list. I reckon if OSG and Sinet will like it with the stuff he's putting out. Have any of you guys seen that? It's
You
kind of
saying
like
all
a-
these things that I've never heard of before.
The
I tell you.
terminal list is like a throwback to sort of 80s action films. Think Rambo, Commando, that sort of thing. Forget your PC. This is just all out male testosterone action, and I really enjoyed it. It's called The Terminal List. I think that's on Amazon Prime as well.
He works from home, so he's watched a lot of Prime and Netflix.
Mate, you're gonna have to put these links in the 8-bit chat or something.
What was that? What was that other one? The sort of Korean one with like monsters and that in the skyscraper. Was it like Home Again or something like that? Does that sound familiar to you guys? They got trapped in like a apartment building. Really cool. Hang on a minute. I have to ask for Mrs. 1 sec.
Yeah,
that's
terminal
what
list
that's-
is on Amazon Prime.
What was that series you watched with him?
We can still hear him. This is
Someone
the
was
first that someone's gone
mentioning-
out and asked.
Someone was mentioning Evil Dead earlier about the game.
Yeah,
The
that was
game's
OSG.
not
He
great.
said that was. Let me go and find it.
But the film I'm looking forward to the most this year is the new Evil Dead film. Evil
Yeah, that
Dead
looked pretty good.
Yeah.
She looks. The mum looks really creepy
yeah.
with the doors, doesn't she? That looks
I've
proper.
not seen it.
I must admit, I
Just
did
watch the
enjoy
trailer.
Hellraiser. The new Hellraiser, I did enjoy that.
I've only seen the first half. I've only watched the first hour.
Yeah.
But for me, already there's a huge lack of one-liners. Like the one-liners is what made Pinhead. You know,
you'll be disappointed there isn't really many.
and I'm not really sure what's going on with the new Pinhead thing. It's like I don't know. I'm just like, oh, you're not like.
Gently, your doors
like,
open.
When
Oh, the dog's just come in.
whatever it is, I don't know if it's male or female. But when,
I've been invaded.
it's just not like.
It reminds me. I need to
I
watch.
don't know. The original Pinhead had like such an awesome voice. Like you just couldn't help but tune into it. Whereas up to now, this whatever it is who's doing Pinhead, it's just like it's just noise. Like
It's a very different Pinhead, and I would say the new Hellraiser is actually more in touch with the book. Hellbound.
Well,
definitely.
apparently, so the original guy, like Doug Bradley and what have you, they've now got the license to make the next Pinhead. So that would be really good to see him back. Like,
So, Jet Li, what was the answer then that you left the room for?
She couldn't remember either. But I think it's called. I think it's called Home Again. Hang on a minute. I'm going to Google it.
You've used your phone.
Oh,
a friend now.
sweet. Was it sweet? What?
is that
Home.
a hint for the quiz? Do you get a phone a friend? I think
Yeah.
that'd be a good idea. You could ask a
Sweet-
YouTuber live.
Yeah,
That's the audience.
it was Sweet Home.
Sweet Home.
Yeah, none of you guys know it.
No, I need to
Oh,
watch
look it up. It's on Netflix.
1999 and Sweet Home. I've got to watch these. Sweet Home.
Yeah, Sweet Home is bloody brilliant. It really is.
Watching Sweet Home.
It's a Korean one. It's got like monsters and that. It's kind of like it's not really a zombie one. It's really cool. It's got a good bit of humor in it. Good effects on the monsters and everything. No, it's really good, honestly.
Yeah,
Watch it.
the series I did start watching that was Korean was All of Us Are Dead. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I always think South Korean and humor just don't always go together very well. Like,
Do you know what? I think South
Be
Koreans have
interesting.
got a brilliant sense of humor because
Yeah.
most of their series they seem to have really good humor. Actually,
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out.
yeah, we want to go there. We'd love to go there for a holiday.
Interesting place for holiday.
Mm. Well, you wouldn't want to go North Korea, but I think South Korea should be all right.
But yeah, I
Right,
started
guys,
watching that Alice in Borderland as well, which is another one.
Willow was meant to be really bad. Like, everyone,
Yeah,
the guy who actually plays them.
If you want to talk about ticking an agenda list,
No, it's not about
my
Jimmy.
God,
I don't want to watch the new Willow because I just don't want to spoil the old one.
that will. And
Yeah, so I
Warwick
don't
Davis
wanna
is
go
in.
anywhere
He's no
near it.
actor. He's no actor.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'll tell you what. My battery's almost dead on my phone. I'm just going to go and get the charger a minute. I've only just noticed
Well,
that.
we'll be wrapping up soon anyway because we're getting to the 2 hours.
Oh,
I've
right.
got to put my
Okay.
kids to
I
bed.
watched the first
okay.
couple of episodes
If,
of Willow.
if I disappear, you know why then, because my battery will have died.
Tetley, I'll tell you one thing. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And don't think people
Oh, it's been
realise
great.
this is your first ever live stream we were talking about before as well.
Yeah.
So
No, I really appreciated the invite. So
people
yeah,
in
it's
the
cool.
chat as well. If you haven't already, go and check out ZX Chetley's channel and go and give him subscribe.
Appreciate that, mate.
Especially if you like your TI-99, because there's not many people covering that though, are there?
No, not in this country. Do you know what I learned the other day? Because I didn't actually know this, but I was reading a developer interview on the TI-99, and they were saying that they didn't produce many games in the UK because apparently there's only 20,000 TI-99s in the UK.
What was that?
That's all they imported, yeah. So no wonder you don't see many about.
Where was it imported from?
America.
America, yeah, because the scene's quite big over there.
Well,
but,
the
you know,
thing is,
Can I just interrupt, right? Because Jade's just put a film in comments, which I want all of you to go and see. And it's a Shudder.
I've seen it.
It's
I've
a
seen it.
Shudder exclusive.
Well, I've
film
not.
talking about Korean films.
Oh.
You've all got to watch The Sadness.
What's it
I
on?
thought I'd seen it, but if it's on
Where
Shudder,
is it?
maybe not.
Thanks, Martin, for putting that in.
No worries, mate. No worries.
It
It's,
is. Me and
there is
Jade
links to
watched
Tetley's
that
channel.
film. Me and Jade watched that film a few weeks ago, and my God, we watched some pretty disturbing films, but that film I think takes the biscuit.
Wow.
That film is
That's-
shocking.
What
That's
did you
our
watch
type of
on?
thing.
hang on,
I
there we are.
watched it on Shudder, but I'm sure there's ways of getting.
Oh,
it.
Do you know, I
see.
thought I'd seen that, but we haven't got Shudder, so maybe not.
You've got the internet, so you're all right. You're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Martin
yeah,
can find
yeah.
anything.
But please,
We
go
always used to
that
watch stuff
film.
on 1, 2, 3 movies, but I don't know if that exists anymore. I'll have to have a little look.
Cinema
I'm sorry, I
I'll sort
love
you out, mate, don't
OSG's
worry.
comment here.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like, I've heard a lot of people say it. That's why I asked about it, because I've heard, people like just general commenters like, just stay away. If you like the original, stay away.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
and also,
problem with it is, so I'm kind of on, like, you have to get on board, right? You have to get on board because this is the way television's going. Otherwise, you just end up doing nothing. But the problem with it is actually it is just poor quality. Like, it's not, doesn't matter about the box ticking, doesn't matter about all the other bits they're doing. The actual show is just poor. The story's poor. The acting's poor. It just doesn't work. So
I think the thing is, for how much people love the original Willow movie, you know what I mean? I think it's going to ruin it for so many people. And you won't be able to go back and watch that, though, will you?
But if you look at the original, the dynamics between the characters, like Val Kilmer was funny in the movie. Even the guy that the red-headed guy, the bearded guy, like even they interact with each other and they talk. And obviously Warwick Davis was younger and funnier, and it just lacks everything. It's not even as a standalone program. If I ignored Willow being an amazing film, as a stand, it just doesn't. I wouldn't watch it if I didn't know what Willow was. It's just not interesting.
Here's a question then. So for you guys, I've got one, but what film do you think would make an awesome TV show? Because I think you could definitely make a TV show out of Total Recall. 100%.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
I will back in a minute. I'm
Easy.
going to make sure the kids are in bed, so I'll give me a second.
The thing is with Total Recall, though, is it's got to have Arnie in it.
Well, I know, but you could go on to like what happened with the, like all the people who's been there who's all fucked up from like
I
the.
suppose you could have Arnie in it for a little while, and then
But you've got the Resistance with Benny.
You would just focus on the Resistance
You've
and
got
Mars, right?
Loads
That's
of
it.
Resistance with Cohagen and them.
Yeah.
You could be battling all the time. It could be set before Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like it could be. They could introduce him like what they've done. Like he could be like in the background, like computer generated or some shit like that. Like at some point, but it could be like leading up to that. Because there's
So I'd love to
loads.
see. Imagine a TV show that's following the Marines from Aliens. That's follow the different deployments they
Stop.
go on.
They're doing one. It's about Vasquez.
Oh, cool, that'd be brilliant. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
They're doing
Yeah.
one, and it's based.
Because you've still
on
got all the
Vasquez
you've still got all
Leopold.
the intrigue of the Witani and all that going on back there, and all the stuff they're trying to get up to. But then you're following this squad or whatever going out on different deployments, and
Well, even
every now and
Hicks,
then one of them gets bumped off or whatever.
Hicks, if you read the comics and the books and stuff, Hicks has a partner and she's on another planet, and that gets infested with aliens, which is why he's there. In like for that unit, because he wants to go to LV447, no, LV428. Is that right? Was it 27? Oh shit, I don't know. But so that's why he's on there. So yeah, but they are making a series on aliens. I can't
That'd be
wait for that,
amazing.
mate.
Yeah,
There's a lot of TV series based around aliens, isn't there, coming?
Oh, is there?
I think so, yeah. There's quite a lot of TV and aliens universe. Because there's one they're talking about which is more about the corporations rather than the aliens, I think. As well.
Well, they reckon it's with
As long as they end up better than the Resident Evil series.
they reckon Blade Runner and Aliens in the same universe, don't they? And there's two corporations battling against each other, and it'll be about them. Sorry,
did they
Mark.
ever do a Dune TV series?
I know they've done the film, didn't they? I don't know.
I haven't seen the film yet. Is that any good?
So there's obviously the original film, and then there's the remake of the film.
Yeah, the remake. I haven't seen the remake yet.
I think
It's,
the
it's
TV series is
okay,
good.
but it's just
Yeah.
a starter. It's almost as if it's just starting up, ready
Yeah.
for the sequel sort of thing.
Yeah.
See, I've only played the Amiga game. I've not actually seen the film.
The
What we
original
talking
never seen
film
the
is
movie?
definitely worth seeing. The original
seen
Dune
Dune.
film is great. It's like a slower Star Wars.
So, what did I miss? What are you guys talking about? Sorry, I had to put kids to bed.
What old film would make a great TV series now? That was what we was talking about.
Old film.
Old
I would have
film.
said The Thing, but then the Thing 2 wasn't much good, was it? That sounded such a good premise, didn't it?
No, the
sort of-
thing too was the thing like it was like a prequel, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So-
Well, it's supposed to be a
You could-
prequel,
you
but
could
it didn't
still
really turn
continue
out as
from
one,
the
did it?
thing. Like the thing still is open for.
That's nailed it.
Yeah,
OSG
Goonies.
has nailed it.
Goonies.
That would, that actually would work
Goonies.
really well.
That would be pretty cool.
But would they fuck it up?
Mm.
Probably.
Probably.
They've
tell
been
you what,
trying to get a sequel out for years, haven't
Well,
they?
it would just be
Yeah.
Stranger Things without the monsters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've been trying to push a script for so many years where obviously all the original cast from the Goonies are all grown up and it's their kids that go on another adventure.
It
But
won't work now.
No,
Nah.
it's
I think
definitely a
modern
movie of
technology-
its time.
Exactly, because you can't. I mean, nowadays those kids have had mobile phones. They've got trapped down a well and just rung their mums and dads or got an Uber or whatever. They wouldn't. They
It's
wouldn't.
like a Mum Day Home Alone, though, isn't it? It's like, oh, Mum, you left me at home. Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So-
Yes, it's like my kids are happily grounded. You know, they're quite.
Do you know what?
happy with they're
Saying about modern tech, that's why I prefer a lot of horror movies that are set in the past,
doing. Yeah.
sort of set in the 80s or before, because these days, a lot of technology, you think, well, you could just like phone that person, or, there's too many things you could do, and with electric and everything, I don't know, it just all gets ruined a
I
bit.
think that's why people like Stranger Things, why that's been such
Mm.
a success.
Yeah.
Back
It's
to the
set in the
Future, the
80s.
TV series.
That would
Yeah,
be
you
an
could do.
interesting concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that could work. I'd prefer a TV series of Back to the Future than I would a remake of the films.
Yeah.
Are they remaking the films? Please tell me that's not
Oh,
real.
Oh,
no,
no,
no.
you
All
can't
right,
do
I've
it.
got
God,
to
it was
watch
fly.
them then.
Nah. I'll tell you what old movie I
Even though
watched a
they
couple of
did
days ago,
repeat it,
which I still like to rewatch, and that's Tron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tron's good.
Oh, I love
Although,
Tron.
the thing is, I don't think I've watched the remake of Tron.
The remake's really good, actually. It's
Look
one
what
of the better
Pixel Plugs
remakes.
has put in there. Pixel Plugs has put in their Running Man. Imagine that as a weekly TV show about the.
I
actual
thought Running Man as well.
Man.
Running Man and Predator I was thinking about, because like you could just have like when all the predators keep like coming to Earth, and then I thought about Running Man, all the previous episodes of all
Yeah.
the, and then when
Previous episodes of the show.
And you
It's
could
the rise
have
of the,
yeah, like
the
a
actual
reality
gladiators.
TV show. That would be awesome. The Running Man would be great, actually.
Yeah.
Because you could have it like a proper reality TV thing. That
Yeah,
would be,
that'd be
really
wicked.
cool.
That
Yeah.
would be really wicked.
But yeah,
Tron, Tron as a TV series, maybe. Yeah, that'd be really
Mm.
cool.
Yeah, Tron Legacy was great.
Yeah.
See,
Actually,
I'd
I watched
I'd
that
say
again the
something
other
like
day, actually, Tron
RoboCop, but
Legacy.
they did it with the cartoons, didn't they? RoboCop
Yeah.
1, 2, then was it 3? Then it went to the cartoons, didn't it?
Well, RoboCop 3 was the pilot to the TV series,
Was
wasn't
it?
Yeah.
I actually genuinely can't remember ever watching.
it feels like a
RoboCop
TV
3.
movie. It feels
Yeah.
like
Is that
a TV
is that the one
movie.
where he flies?
Yeah.
The ninjas.
Yeah, I think I've seen that bit.
It's got the robot samurai in it.
Jade's put here Pulp Fiction, the TV series.
Yeah, that could work.
Oh, what about Heat?
You'd have to have.
What about
British
Heat?
thing, though.
You could have all the previous bank robberies that they've done.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Heat. That
That's a
scene
great
where they come
movie.
out the
All right,
bank.
let's flip it then. What TV series would make a good film?
Ooh.
See, I've been thinking this for a long time, and I know it's been done by Hammer, but I'd love to see Doctor Who on the big screen and it done by and it's an all
Yeah.
British cast. Don't Americanize
Yeah.
it like they've tried. Keep it a British thing, but I'd love to see a big budget Doctor Who. I think that would be really cool.
The thing is, though, it's tricky with Doctor Who. Though,
I know
isn't it?
mine.
Like, what era would you pick as the Doctor Who? You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
There's
There
so
has
many.
been some Doctor Who movies, haven't there? But they're
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like,
the-
from like the
the one
50s
that
or
was like
60s,
the
I think.
I actually
Millennium
watched
one.
one a few weeks ago. It was terrible. It was really bad. It
I
was
watched
about-
one as well with the Daleks in it.
Daleks, yeah, that was right.
Yeah, do you know what they were my favourite when I was a kid? I loved the Daleks.
Yeah, it was on TV
Yes.
a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, it would have been the same one then.
It was also the
I
one-
enjoyed it actually.
I've just seen it. There was one in 1990. There was the one that kicked off just
Yeah, the
before
new-
Eccleston took over, wasn't there? So
Yeah.
that's how it kind of relaunched Doctor Who. They did the movie with the guy with
That's
the curly
it.
hair.
That episode that he done, Blink, I thought was absolutely superb. You know, with the statues, where and it was for me.
Yeah, the Weeping
I-
Angels.
like- that was the first time I'd watched Doctor Who for years, and
It's a great
I
concept,
thought
though,
he
isn't
was
it, really?
superb. Like the whole series, I was genuinely gutted when he left. In fact, I've not watched it since he left.
Yeah.
See, there has been some good ones, but I genuinely Capaldi, I lost it halfway through him. I didn't watch any of the Last Doctor. Will I go back to it? I'm not sure at all, but I did enjoy it back in the day, but it just
It's the longest running sci-fi TV series in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
What did anyone think of Torchwood though? Did anyone watch that?
Yes,
No,
I
I've
like
seen
the first couple of seasons of that were good.
Yeah, I couldn't get on with it.
But I was just thinking, a film that would make a brilliant TV series, and it's one of my favourite films. I can't believe I didn't think of this. Is Invasion of the Body Snatchers? If they made that into a TV series, wow!
They kind of did. It was called Invasion.
Yeah, but that was so slow, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they
Oh.
only done 2 series and never made another one. The guy who was the sheriff, the main guy, he's been in loads of stuff. Like
He was
and-
Superman, weren't he?
Here's
Weren't
a-
that Superman?
Yeah.
Here's a TV show that I was speaking to a mate about the other day, and it was on Sky One, and it was called The Strangers. Right, they only made one TV show, and it was a guy from the Fast Show was in it. The guy that used to say, "This week I've been mostly eating." What's his
This
name?
week I'll be mostly eating.
Him. But that's the thing. is
Auburn
I found it the other week, right? My mate found it on YouTube because someone's copied it all off someone's VHS, and I didn't realise it's actually written and directed by Doug Naylor.
Oh, wow.
Genuinely,
Well, speaking of Doug Naylor, when you're talking about TV series that should be made into a film, I'd love to see a Red Dwarf film.
no, they've tried for years.
I know it won't happen.
Leave
but-
it alone.
It doesn't matter. I'd still love to see one. I'd
No,
still
but
love
they
to
did
see
the
one.
whole.
Definitely too late now. You can
Yeah.
change
Oh,
the cast.
yeah, it's gone.
Back in the day, maybe, yeah.
The Promised
Oh, man.
Land, I'm sorry, was not good. It really wasn't. I did not like that Promised Land. Although we have lost Scott now because I think Scott stopped watching that a long time ago.
What's that?
Red Dwarf.
Oh, me and Jade put that on to try and watch it a while ago, and it's just
You
lost
didn't get on with it, do you?
No.
No.
See, I love
We
Red
didn't
Dwarf.
laugh once. We sat there watching it, and I didn't even raise a chuckle. It's weird.
I've got
It's
one.
not aged for me very well at all.
He's putting his hand up. He's definitely got one.
So this is kind of what Paul was saying, but I would love to see. So Dusk Till Dawn, which I know has been a series, but actually focused on the Gecko brothers and all of their antics before
Yes.
Dusk Till Dawn.
That'd
So-
be interesting.
Can I just say now, what the hell is Pixel Pug put there? Good Night, Sweetheart, the movie.
Oh, you can remember Good Night, Sweetheart? The TV show where you
no,
go back
just
to
see the
the
movie.
40s.
I think
that was old Rodney, wasn't it? That
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
good. I liked that back in the day.
that was good. That was a good show.
But Martin, I
What
think
a
that's a
weird-
great idea, Martin.
Yeah,
I really
the
do.
Gecko Brothers as a show would be amazing because I thought
Yeah.
George Clooney's character in that was fantastic, and obviously Quentin Tarantino was good as well. But to see them pair doing all of the previous bank robberies and all the stuff like that would be awesome.
So here's another question. What about games? Because I always think Metal Gear Solid would make a good game. I always think that
What
would.
is with Metal Gear Solid is that was already based on movies, wasn't it? Like,
Well, I mean, you've got Escape from New York and that,
Okay. So what do you think of the
but,
Doom
but
movies,
what?
though?
So here's the question: what game that hasn't been done yet would make a good film?
it'd have to be more. It'd have to be more modern.
Well, that could be.
It'd have to be something a bit more
Jet Set
modern,
Willy
wouldn't
the
it?
movie.
To be fair, I'll
But he's had-
let
he's
you.
had
I'll
his
let
highs
you
and lows,
include.
didn't he?
I'll let you include remakes of older films. If there's already a game, what would make a good remake of that game?
Oh, Tetley, just a quick one, if you can actually see it on your screen. Have you ever seen that one? It's Spaceman Willie, the modern.
No,
remake.
no, I've not.
That
Is that
a
is that
weird-
homebrew? Is it?
Yeah, homebrew. Check that one
Ah.
out if you like your Jet Set.
Where'd you get that from?
Just someone privately selling it. They don't
Oh,
actually sell it anymore. So
Oh crap!
sorry, mate.
That sounds quite cool.
Paul,
I'll see
you
if I can
know,
download it.
I would like
the,
to see, I would like. I've been thinking about this. I would like to see an actually really decent Street Fighter movie because I know some of the manga
Yeah.
stuff is good,
Mm.
but the
I would-
Jean-Claude Van Damme Kylie Minogue film that's so bad it's good.
Yeah,
But I would
I
love
think that
see
would need to be like
serious-
an animated movie, though, wouldn't it? Like a full-length animated Street Fighter movie.
Well, they've done that. They've done the animated movies, haven't they? But I would love to
Do
see
you know
a
what? Yes, they
live
have because I've
action.
actually got that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I would like to see a really well done, written, maybe just following Ryu his
Yeah.
journey or something, and then he has to face all the different characters. It would be so easy to do. I just don't understand why that hasn't been done. Obviously, the Sonic movie.
Metroid the movie.
That
Honestly,
could be good.
Well, I've got one. I don't know if anyone's just in case someone says it before me, but I think
OSG Gears of War.
I think Turrican would make a good movie
Turrican.
because it's like you get a story beforehand before you do what you've got to do. But I think Turrican would. I think that would be alright.
GTA the movie.
GTA. Just driving around running over old grannies.
We know how you play the game. Then.
See, I love revenge films.
Yeah.
Like zombie films are my favourite, and next is revenge. And I would love to see a Streets of Rage movie, which is like a revenge film. I think that could work.
So you like zombie films, you said, Scott, but you haven't seen Kingdom. You've got to watch Kingdom.
I'll watch Kingdom. I don't think I've seen it. Yeah, I'll give it a watch.
Oh, you'll love it.
Yeah, ask Sega Zombie if you like zombie movies.
Yeah, well, Kingdom's probably my favourite. I mean, they would be classed as zombies. That's probably my favourite. I mean, it's because you've got 2 series and then you've got a movie as well. It's effectively a movie. It's like a stopgap between the 3rd series, but it's like a movie. And I think they're right up there with my favourite because I love zombies.
Yeah,
and I think that's right up there with the best of them.
Is that on Netflix? You say Kingdom?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Yeah. There are about 3 series called Kingdom, so you've got to be careful. There's one which is like a jail series, then there's obviously the Kingdom, which is like the old what do you call it one, sort of swords and shields one. You know just which is quite good as well. We watched all of those, but yeah, it's called just Kingdom.
Did you guys watch the Midnight Mass series on Netflix?
No.
Yeah, that's the vampires. No. It's actually really good. It's a limited series. It's only 8 episodes, but it's about an island being taken over. But it's all
I did see that. Yeah, with the priest and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw that with the island being taken over. That was cool, actually. Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I like that.
What was that called?
Midnight Mass. It's called.
Yeah,
Netflix.
That was cool.
Yeah. It's
Are you writing all these down, Paul?
What's that?
Are you writing all these down?
Yeah.
What?
I said, are you writing the movies down?
What?
I need to write this down.
What about Black Summer?
Yes, I've seen that. Black
That's
Summer.
Quite good. Yeah, that's quite good.
Right.
It's weird because the episodes are all different lengths, aren't they? So like one episode's about 20 minutes and then the next one might be 40.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I am going to have to call it now. We've gone past the 2-hour mark, which was sort of my cut-off point. You guys can talk forever about movies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we haven't done much game chat.
We can always continue off air, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's for your only fans that you're setting up, right? You say.
But I actually, hang on, I just realised you guys have probably been. Yeah, that's.
OSG said, "Can we stay on tonight?"
I didn't show my pickups.
Oh,
go on then,
right.
Quickly.
Extended.
My pickup.
Go on. Can we put the link on so OSG can just join in after we go off air? After Scott shows his.
Shows his stuff.
Guys, if you guys want to carry on, I can happily carry on. That's not a problem. If OSG wants to jump on, Paul, have you got the link for him, or do you want me to put it in?
I can do that.
I'm all right staying on for a bit.
In the chat. Yeah, if you're happy for it, I've literally just tipped my box of homebrew games upside down.
You should play those homebrew games in order you pick them back up.
Look at
that.
Wow. Yeah.
I hope the 150 quid game weren't in there. So
no, that's
what was that? What happened there?
A lot of games just
that's like the equivalent of throwing a load of money in the air.
Although, to be honest, the one that fell out was Octavius Kit in the game, so that's
that deserves to be falling out.
Side, you want another tease? Yeah, go ready. Like,
we'll just keep getting these little previews.
Is that as rare on the C64 as it is on the Spectrum?
I don't think it's.
yeah.
I don't think it's like the main one. Do you know everyone goes with the Spectrum and always goes, that's like the main one everyone wants.
Well, you speak to
I'm sure
Spectrum
Hook and that
Hit
are more
Squad,
expensive.
They'll have a different opinion. Some will say that Adam's family's the hardest one to get, and others will say that what's the other one called? Darkman.
Yeah. But the weird thing is, I think it depends which one you're looking for at the time. And if you've got two people looking for the same game, you'll fight over it and spend the most money on it.
The thing
That's
is
the
with
thing.
me is I got down to the very early teens with my Hit Squad collection, and then
no, Pentagon's Quest went.
someone that was desperate to finish their Hit Squad collection offered me money I could not refuse for ones I
Yeah.
had. So I was then put into a situation as in, this is mega amounts of money he's offering me. And then if I sell him those, then I might as well get rid of them all. So that's what I done.
I think
you should have just treated it like a boss phase where you think you're almost done, and then you sort of an extra phase turns up, and you've got to do a bit more.
Well, I just saw the money and I thought, wow, this is serious amounts of money. I can now.
You'll probably never be offered that amount of money again. That's
No.
the thing.
No, it was crazy money, and that money helped me finish the Sega wall. So that was more important, to me at the time.
Well, mate, you can fleece me when some come into the shop. Don't worry, you can.
Have you ever thought about setting up an online Scott with your store?
I am looking into it. Yeah, there's a couple of little avenues that I'm working on. There's a guy actually that has just joined the Microshops, and he does vintage clothing.
Right.
He is really clued up on all web design and stuff like that, and he's looking into setting me up an online store. So yeah,
'Cause I'd love to have a little look at your place, but it's just so far from us.
Yeah.
So it's a long
Tell me
way
about
up.
it. I went all the way down there on the train, and that was one hell of a journey.
Yeah.
Whoa. Don't even
anything
go
but
there.
anything
Well,
but-
Paul, you fly, Paul. You fly. You can't really call that.
no,
I know, I'm just kidding.
Paul's basically gone from Land's End to John O'Groats, hasn't he, when he goes in there?
But yeah, no, anything I have in the shop, I tend to, if it's really good stuff, I'll show it on my Facebook group anyway. I sell a lot through there.
Oh, I don't know if I'm on your Facebook group. I'll have to look that up in a
You've got
minute.
to join the Retro Realm shop. And
Right. Oh, okay.
So obviously, lots of people live far away from the shop. So what they'll do is they'll join that group, and then if they see anything, they'll just message me and say, "Can you post that out?" Yeah.
But Commodore stuff is reserved, just to make you aware.
Yeah,
so.
someone
That's all right. I don't want that crap anyway. I want the decent stuff.
Oh,
I've actually got some really nice Spectrum games coming. Actually, I haven't shown anyone yet.
I'll get on
yeah,
there.
no one buys them, so they're still in the shop. They're all Commodore.
Because nobody has a standing order like you do, though.
You haven't got any big box chaos, have you?
No,
God.
no.
I watched Mr. Bad's video recently.
Yeah.
He picked up big box chaos for 20 quid. I thought, you
Oh,
bastard.
Yeah,
Oh.
Mr. Bad also picked up what was it now? RoboCop 3 in a bundle for like £40. Like the big
Oh,
box
no
version
way.
of it.
Yeah,
and it's like
That sells for a
£300.
fortune. Yeah.
Absolutely
Blimey.
crazy. But yeah. Right, did you want to do your pickups, Scott? Or
Yeah, we'll show
Yeah,
some of
go
them
on.
because they're really
Hmm.
interesting.
You want
No
big screen?
game. These
you
are
got
all
big screen?
yeah. These are all
Yeah.
retro toys, mostly 70s, I'd say,
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing these.
but really cool.
Yeah.
Like, so first up, we've got
Very
computer.
nice.
Wow.
Oh.
Look,
It looks
oh
so
my
cool.
God. Look at the haircut.
Yeah,
That's what you go to.
The haircut.
yeah.
It's so
Wow. That haircut, though. Look.
Look at
stuff
that.
is just-
Scott,
They've
you
got
need to explain
turtlenecks
how
on.
that
They
works.
look great.
but- whoa! I didn't think of this, did I? How can I?
Yeah, don't drop it on like I just did with the tapes.
But yeah, everything is like.
Yeah, you need to set up something like on retro games where he has a camera above.
So there's
Honestly,
the car. Look at
the
that.
people who
nuts.
must have really looked after this stuff because
Yeah,
Yeah.
this stuff is
Yeah.
mint.
nothing
Wow.
I
There's
have
not a
looked like
blemish
that.
on it. It looks amazing.
That looks mint.
And you basically, what you do is you feed these cards through the car that then reads the card and it will drive to whatever it's instructed to do on the card.
No way.
Yeah,
So cool.
You
It's
can
got-
cut them out yourself as well, can't you?
you can. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
even got the original manual.
Do you know, I've never seen that thing before.
And it's also got the original sort of like registration card.
Oh, get that sent off.
You know, it's got, I wonder if it's still valid.
Hmm.
That's got to be
Yeah.
worth some money, surely.
Yeah,
That
Scott.
looks so nice.
What do they go for on eBay?
But not as much as I thought. Now, there's two versions. The white Corvette one is the most common. This
Yeah.
one, the red one, is a lot harder to get, apparently. But it's not got the value you think it has. I think these are about 35, 40 quid they're going for. on
Really?
eBay. Yeah.
I'm tempted to buy that myself.
But it's a really cool thing. It's so funny when you set it up. It is quite funny.
Is it Scott? Is it batteries or is it wind up? Well, how's it powered?
No, it's batteries. Yeah, it takes two double batteries. And then next up, we've got, I don't know if this will go in, but this is Impact.
That's a
by
big
IQ.
one, Scott.
This is a big one. Look at that. Need a bigger lens. But yeah, this is looks a really cool game actually. You basically you swing the ball bearing down the rail, and then you have to hit your bottles into and try and hit the ball bearing.
Isn't that the same boy on the box?
That could be similar hair. I don't know.
I was going to say, it looks like the same kid.
That kind of looks a bit like what's that game? The BioShock games, doesn't it? Looks really creepy looking.
It does, yeah.
But yeah, we got that, and these are all immaculate.
They're such cool boxes. They really are.
OSG's
Cool
asked,
boxes.
did you have Matchbox Race and Chase? Love that.
Do you know what? That was there. That was there. See, the guy I bought all this off, he's clearing his family home's attic, and he was a Matchbox nut, and he had so much Matchbox stuff. It was unbelievable.
Like a young Jimmy Carr.
And look at the box art to this, guys. This was amazing.
Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, this is actually the original.
That's that
in
same
the
boy again with the stripy top. Look.
Yeah, in the 80s,
It's
this
lovely.
was known as Ghost Castle.
Yeah, we've got the modern version of that. The kids we play it with the kids.
But this is the original haunted house.
Yeah.
That's quality. That
very
like I remember that. I
But
remember the advert. Remember the advert on TV?
Yeah,
It was so American, wasn't it? It was just oh man.
but again, this is I ain't going to be able to tip it up, but this is all mint
Yeah, that's
inside.
amazing.
I think this is 1971.
Yeah, I
Wow.
love about them. The instructions still being on the lid, so you can never
I
lose
know.
them.
And then this one, I was so excited about because this is a game I've wanted for many years and never seen it, and that is Ghost Train.
Ooh.
And again,
That sounds more familiar.
the box art is just sort of like something out of a Hammer horror film, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, that is awesome. That like.
But the thing I actually went there for, because he put this on Marketplace, was this, and this blew me away. This did, it really did, and that is the Evil Knievel Stone.
Oh, I used to have that.
And it's in its box. It's its instruction manual.
That wind up handle. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the same. Do you know there's actual YouTube channels dedicated to people doing massive jumps and modding these things?
Oh, do you know what?
I can't believe
When
how
I had that,
well
I gave that to my cousin, and he couldn't figure out what happened to it because they're worth a lot of money now. And he said, "I've still got the handle, but I can't find the bike."
Just the handle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't believe how uncrushed that box is. Like the
Yeah,
core,
as I
that's
said,
unreal.
It's unbelievable.
that's got to be worth some money.
When I knocked on the door and he went, "Here it is. I'm selling it cheap because it's not in very good condition."
What?
I was like, "Right, okay." And he got
They've
to know,
got
he
different
said-
standards.
You'd almost be tempted to think it was a repo box or something.
Yeah.
Like it looks so
Yeah.
good.
And he said to me, "Let's get it out, and I just want to."
Can you get Evil Knievel out the box now?
I can't believe you didn't do a chef and go, oh my god, that is an absolute disgrace. Oh, I think you should just pay me for my petrol money and I'll walk away a happy man.
Yeah, it's got all the thing in there.
Oh, God, that
it's
brings back
not
some
the
memories.
original Baggy.
Nah.
Um,
What sort of money are they worth now?
you're looking over £100, I'd say. But
Probably way over that, I'd have thought.
It's
I
got.
think technically there's different bikes. Some are worth a lot more
Oh,
money
is it?
than others.
Ah, right.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think you
okay.
can get the
There's
Evil Knievel with the. I'm sure there's a chopper bike he came with.
Right.
That's
Oh, I
really
don't know which
expensive.
bike mine was.
you can get this one. There's one that's just all white, which seems to be the most common one.
Yeah.
Right.
You get ones with different decals on and all that on them, but there's that.
That's got a lovely Commodore yellow. That is.
And
Don't get that problem with Spectrum.
There's the
No,
man
that's
himself.
true.
Look,
Yeah,
Oh,
mate.
mate, it's amazing.
Do you know what? The when you see a toy like that, you just know that the kid that was bought that for Christmas or birthday had the best Christmas or birthday he's ever had.
Yeah.
and it's got like 2 instruction manuals in it, which is odd.
I don't know. Maybe he was a sport brat that got given it because he hasn't played with it much, has
I
he?
think
That
from
condition.
what Scott said, that the amount of stuff they're saying like there was spoil.
Yeah,
They were,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many toys in my life. It was just unbelievable. And then he said in the loft he still had all his dad's toys. His dad had kept
Oh,
all his toys as well.
you should have said I'll be back tomorrow for the
Yeah.
rest.
It was all sort of like steam engines and stuff.
OSG here saying he had to
Oh.
fix the forks on his bike because he jumped it off the roof of the house roof. House roof. Sorry, get the words right.
Oh, that's the only thing is putting these things back in the box, isn't it?
Mm.
But yeah,
I know it's not. I know it's not the same era of toy and everything else, but the same line is we used to drive my parents mad because we were bought crash test dummies, and we used to launch them down the stairs. And there was just bits of these cars absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, the only thing I've still got of that sort of age is where you'd have seen it in my little videos that I put up now and again is the Dukes of Hazzard little wind-up car that you used to put on the watch. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
That's about the only thing I've got from when I was a kid. It's because I had a box full of Lego which I always kept. I gave to somebody a few years ago, and when I picked up the box, I just saw that in there, and I thought, oh Christ, that brings back some memories.
But one of the most interesting things I got is, I'm hoping someone can shed some light on these, is Zeroids, and they come into this case like this, and they're these battery operated little robots.
What age are these? What
These
year?
are 1968, made in Japan by
Wow,
Meto Toy, I think they're called.
looks a bit like sort of Metal Mickey, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I remember having something more modern than that. That said the sort of floppy arm, like the arms were more floppy, but they were like, I think Nerdy Geezer talked about them. They're like little
Yes.
robots. But they weren't as old as those.
Unfortunately, these are like, because of the age of them. This one's still got its tracks. They haven't perished at all. But he's a little bit tender.
Yeah, I
very
would not
battery.
even attempt to try and power those up.
Yeah.
It's purely ornamental now. I mean,
I just
you
love
switch
how
them
they-
on, so it's going to snap.
Yeah. I love how they sit in their box like that.
Yeah, they're fantastic, mate. They really
Yeah.
are.
They're going to be great display pieces. They are.
That's why I said to him in the end of the, because he was like someone that didn't want to sell anything unless he knew whether it worked or not. And he wouldn't take any money for these. He said, I want to gift
Wow.
them to you because I bought them the other
Oh,
I bet you were devastated when you heard that.
Yeah. And
But I have to
if it had
ask.
been Retro Chef would have been asking to be paid, wouldn't he?
You'd be like, do you know how much my petrol costs to get here? It's like 20 quid, at least half.
Don't fuck about, mate. Give me some.
Yeah, at least pay me for the storage.
Do you know maybe
Yeah,
like, what
they all
was it, the
fit in
Amiga
these places
500? And he said, "Oh, I'll have to knock some money off because it's got a flashing red light on it."
yeah, that's it. Yeah. But not only was there one, there was 2 of them. And this one I
Wow.
can't find online.
I would actually. Is there any like proper big toy dealers that just, you know what I mean? Because there's a couple around here that just sell nothing but like retro toys. Just ask them if they've seen them before.
Jesus, that looks old, man.
Yeah, it's
68.
They're definitely
Wow.
1968 because they've got them stamped on it. 1968, made in
There's
Japan.
Wow.
a YouTube chat. The Leicester. There's a one in Leicester. It's the Leicester Retro Toys or something. They've got like a YouTube channel. They did an interview with Jonathan Ross recently and stuff. So they might be worth. I've spoke to them before about.
Yeah, you need to
some
reach
old
out
toys
for
that
them.
I've got, so it might be worth reaching out to them.
I know that robots are a real big collectible, though. If you know,
Yeah.
some people will. If it's like the one they need, or just anything like that. I mean, even the 80s robots go for a lot of money. Just those,
I know,
the
I've
ones with
sold
the screen
quite a
on the
few.
front.
Yeah, I've had quite a few come into the shop actually, and they don't last 5 minutes. I
Yeah.
had That one you was talking about with the screen of a battle
Yeah,
scene. On
that's the one everyone remembers, isn't it? That one, and if it's got the missiles that aren't missing, that puts the price right up.
I had a boxed one of those, and this guy come in. I hadn't even put it on the shelf. I didn't even get to photograph it, I don't think, and put it on my group. I literally had it sitting there, and the guy just went, "How much do you want for that robot?" And he bought it there and then. Boom! I didn't even get to show him off. The robot.
Well, that's the way you want to do it, though, with the shop, though, in and out. You want
yeah.
Does anyone remember these?
Are they monsters? No, what are they?
The battle beasts.
What are they? 90s?
Yeah, they were like so they got a little hologram on their chest, and when you sort of warm up with your finger, they come up with like a fire or a piece of wood or water.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And that's how you battle.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, I was going to say no, but that little warming them up thing sounds familiar.
Sorry, Scott, I have to put this up from OSG.
I only know about hemorrhoids now. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, guys, they said I'm going to have to head off. This has actually been a blast. It really has. It's one of those ones you don't quite know what you're going to talk about. Next thing you know, 2.5 hours have gone and you've just been waffling a load of rubbish. So, quickly, as we'll do what Retro Chef does, what have you got coming on your channel? Tetley?
What have I got coming? Probably more Spectrum videos, maybe a bit of TI-99. I can't think what game is going to be next.
I think you do videos like I do. It's just whatever you play.
Yeah, on a moment. Yeah, exactly. That's why I put out quite a lot, because I'm always up here playing on games. So sometimes if I'm enjoying a game, I just think I'll just stick the camera on and film that one. So yeah, I don't really pre-plan mine, to be honest.
Martin, what about you?
So tomorrow, I will be doing I think about midday it goes live, will be the next Hit Squads update video. So that's from 37 to 42. So it's the next 5 to add to the collection.
Is that a premiere or?
No one watches my stuff, mate. So I don't want to do
I do.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Just me sat there watching my own video.
I watch them even though they're C64. I still watch them.
Yeah, so that's going up tomorrow, and then obviously Monday Night Retro will be on Monday, so Monday 8 o'clock if anyone wants to come and hang out.
What system are you doing on Monday?
You know what, I might stick the Harlequin on again, the Spectrum, and play some homebrews.
Try triangle. Can't say that word. Try triangle, circle, square. If you haven't already.
But if people want to send me games, I'll give them a try. I've still got loads of them on the card that I did from last time. But maybe I'll give Travel Through Time another go. Just a few. And then, obviously, the big one coming up on the 5th of February, we've got the Retro Gamer Quiz. So that'll be the first quiz of the year. So we'll see how that goes.
I'll tell you one video I will do, just because of Scott talking about it the other day, is Firefly. That arrived today. So
yeah. So how to play it properly.
Yeah, I'll try to.
You look a bit confused.
I'm still trying to figure out that bloody Fury game at the moment.
Scott, anything coming up? I know you've just done your big Spectrum video that's just come out.
Do you know what my I love doing that Spectrum video so much that I think possibly the next one might be Spectrum as well.
Yes, Scott. I love those.
Of doing that.
I think you've definitely got to go with that homebrew game, the one that Paul was on about.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll focus on Sword of Iron. The only thing is, it's hard with them sort of games because it's such an in-depth, long game. It's hard to take snippets of. People probably get bored of the first sort of. I don't know.
It's the backtracking in it. It's hard to record the backtracking.
Perhaps what I need to do is kind of shoot some of the levels separately and make a video out of it, maybe.
I did that today, Scott. So with the video I did today called Steel Ranger, that's a very similar game. It's a Metroidvania type game. So what I did was I played it for about 2.5 hours and then made about 5 minutes of footage out of 2.5 hours of gameplay. So you can just jump from sections. Because like you say, that's an amazing game, Sword of Iana. But if you just showed someone the first 5 minutes, they'd probably go, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you do need to sort of show the progression through the game and stuff.
I think so, definitely of a game like that. But I'm still working on how I'm going to do the Sega Wall videos because obviously it's been quite a long while since I've really featured the Sega Wall. So I want to go back to basics, start showing some Mega Drive, definitely Dreamcast, because I know there's a lot of tubers out there and a lot of collectors at the minute that are really interested in the Dreamcast. And I've got a lot of customers in the shop that have been saying, please, Scott, do a Dreamcast video. So I'm going to do some Dreamcast stuff as well, I think.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Paul, what have you got? Anything?
So yeah, next top 10 that's coming out is it's Ocean Software. The probably my favorite publisher, like for the Commodore 64. Like I love so many of the games. So yeah, I'm going to do a top 10 on Ocean. And I've also been doing a video on the PlayStation 1 Resident Evil games. So Resident Evil 1, 2, Nemesis, and Survivor. So, there's a bit of voiceover and stuff on that one. So it's just something a little bit different. I thought I'd just do something different than 8-bit, really. So, yeah, looking forward to releasing that one. Sorry?
I said good to mix it up a bit.
Yeah, totally. And I've been putting like shorts on my channel. That's like it's not really gaming related, but it's stuff that I really enjoy. Like
that's way to be. The only way to do YouTube is do it as Scott says. YouTube is
about you.
It's all about you. And I've been putting on some like awesome intros from like cartoons when I was a kid that I've enjoyed. And at the minute, I'm going through Arnold Schwarzenegger's best movie quotes, which is some like there is a lot. Like I didn't realize how many there was. So
well, it is Arnie.
Yeah, he's the king of the one-liners, and that was like the.
So I'm doing those, and then obviously on February the 5th on the Retro Gamer Quiz on Martin's channel, the Hobby Lodge, which I can't wait to take part in. Well, I'm kind of understanding the nervousness now that you get when you're on the other side. It's weird, but
we'll have to tune in for that and watch, because just seeing you on the other side of that is going to be quite funny to see.
Just remember when you're that's my dad's birthday on that.
When you're holding the questions up on the pad, you know how to hold it and hide the two, don't you? So no, because
it's going to be really weird being on the other side, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope everyone can join us.
As I said, it's been a good laugh tonight, guys. I really do appreciate this. As far as me, I'm just doing BattleBots crap and whatever games I'm playing at the time. You know, the other day I did a live stream from work because there was nothing on, so there's never any planning on my channel, and there never will be.
Well, that's good. Just
that way.
Oh, you'll have to do one on that thing you showed us tonight. That weird.
Do you know what? I meant to do that a while ago, but I genuinely forgot I had it. So,
but don't forget, guys.
What?
Stay away from the fires.
Yes. And on that note, I'm going to put the outro up, and it's got a fire on it. So yeah, thank you guys all for.
It's not.
It's not. Your face then. Anyway, say bye.
Goodbye, bro.